Hi guys and welcome to DR Sports Game Day Live ahead of Chelsea taking on Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. We have a great guest with us today. Neeks, hello in your United shirt. I'm not really very happy to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy to be here actually. It's been a long time, Abby. Good to see you, especially after the midweek. But you know, we're dealing with the big boys and the big games today, not those little small midweek fixtures. But thank you for having me.
It's all right. I'll be coming for you in a little bit. Hi, Malcolm.
You saying any good? Yeah.
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
So you haven't been on a Premier League stream yet, have you?
No, I've been on the AFCON once with Ghana.
How'd that work out?
Very well, actually.
Oh, you win the AFCON?
No, we qualified.
You win the AFCON?
Oh, this boy, bro. Already starting, bro.
Neeks is ready.
Fire!
Anyway, sorry we were really interrupted.
So rude, right?
By that guy over there.
So rude.
Yeah, so I've done the qualifiers for the World Cup.
Yeah.
We smashed Nigeria. And watched AFCON as well with Belgium and Quam. So it's good to be here for the Premier League one for Chelsea, Man United. It's always a good,
Good
game.
vibes. Unless Neeks here.
Listen. It's good to see Malcolm in it. Malcolm was very disrespectful actually. When he came in, I said, "Well, go on, Malcolm."
You didn't say one. You didn't say one.
Very disrespectful, like
Because you're
Ghanaian
cheap.
jollof
That's
rice.
why you support a cheap
Nigerian jollof rice is
Cheap.
much better
Of course you're
than
gonna say that.
Ghanaian jollof rice.
Of course you're gonna say
their
that.
jollof rice is disrespectful.
You ain't even Nigerian. You're Jamaican.
Yeah, but I know. So I'm unbiased.
You're Jamaican.
I'm unbiased.
You're
I know
biased,
good
bro.
jollof.
Stop
I'm just
it,
saying,
bro.
innit?
Stop it.
I have to
That
say,
bullet rice.
I've
Stop
asked
it.
this a few times. I've never actually had either version of jollof. So I would really like to try
Senegal, Nigeria, Jamaican jollof,
Jamaican jollof.
and then Ghanaian.
Jamaican jollof.
So what's your take?
To be honest, it's about personnel still. I'm not going to lie to you. But obviously, I'm going to say Ghanaian jollof.
Biased, man.
But this guy's not even had jollof.
I've had jollof.
You man are eating, rice and beans and all this stuff.
Rice and peas.
Yeah,
a real thing.
You guys eat black eyed peas as well, you know.
A real thing.
I can see this is gonna
So
be a
what
long
part of
night.
Jamaica are you from?
Manchester, which is actually Manchester, Mandeville, Manchester, which is ironic because I support Manchester United.
Okay.
So it all falls in. People say, "Oh, how you can support Manchester United when you live in London?" Because I'm from Manchester, Jamaica. That's how. All right then.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. Malcolm, how come you support Chelsea? Let's get some background.
I support Chelsea because I'm Ghanaian, and growing up, I just loved watching SCN. I loved watching my rivals, John Obi Mikel as well, like from Nigeria. They just had the good representation of like different countries of players playing for Chelsea and whatnot. And I really liked the kit as well, because back in the day they used to be sponsored by Umbro, and then they used to have like Zola as the face and whatnot. And it's just a really cool club. I like the colour as well. I like that it's in West London. I'm from West London as well. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why, well, many reasons why I support Chelsea.
I like it when people are from the area.
Yeah.
You know, unlike some.
From Manchester, Mandeville.
This Donny's from Croydon.
Whoa.
You're from Croydon, aren't you? You should really support Manchester.
I'm not dealing with South London like that.
From Croydon, bro.
This is how Chelsea fans.
See
how he goes, SCN and Mikel. That's money Chelsea, you know. He didn't say Vialli. He didn't say Zola. He didn't say Dan Precescu. He didn't say Graham Lissow. He didn't say Ed De Hoy. He didn't say Marcel Desailly. He didn't say that. He said money.
Varane.
Roman.
Varane.
These are Romans, baby.
Varane.
They're my joke, man. They're my joke.
Crespo, Palafel.
See that money, man.
Crespo.
They're just chasing the money.
Damien Duff. Good Johnson.
This man.
Ian Robin.
In about
Should
2
we keep
years,
going?
in about 2 years,
Should we get going?
he is
Let me
supporting
keep going,
Newcastle.
bro.
Because that's
bro.
where the money is.
The reason why you know
That's
these
where the
names is
money
because
is.
you're probably 100 years old. That's why, bro. You're 100 years old.
Man, I'm
That's why
big
you know all
man.
these old
Man, I'm
names, bro.
big man. All
Honestly,
right.
Neeks has come with some serious.
It's
I'm ready for you.
It's because he's
I'm ready
nervous.
for
That's
you.
why he's nervous. He's nervous, bro. You're a
He
joke.
started giving it to me when he walked in here. He's been giving it to you from when you walked in here. Oh,
Disrespectful.
tell us what's on your mind. Get things off your chest.
Right now, people are really onto Man United.
Are they?
They're onto Man United because we're actually doing a little bit, not massive, but a little bit better
No, you're not.
than people thought. Listen, certain man was saying, we'll be lucky to get top 10 this season because we're in disarray. Who is Ten Hag? He can't manage this. He's only managed in this place. He's only managed here. Yet, we've slapped up Liverpool, we've slapped up Arsenal, slapped up Spurs.
Slapped up.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
To be fair, we did get slapped.
And people are like, damn, this team are slightly better than I thought, so I'm gonna have to come with them at a different angle. So they're happy. When Ronaldo walked down that tunnel, I'm sure we're gonna get onto that. They were happy because they thought, that's how we're gonna come. So I'm ready for anyone. I just hope the boys are ready today.
Okay, so today's game is 4th against 5th. Just before we kick off, let's just run through the teams quickly. For Chelsea, it's Kepa in goal, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Cucurella, Azpilicueta, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Chilwell, Mount, Sterling and Aubameyang. And for United, it's David De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen. Who is Dos Santos?
That's Anthony.
Anthony, I was going to say, who is that? Anthony, Bruno Fernandes, Sancho and Rashford. Just want to chat about the lineups quickly. Malcolm, are you happy with the team?
Yeah, I'm happy with the team. It's a nice mix since Potter's come in. He's really mixed things up. Obviously, you can see that Kepa is now started. He's on number 1 now. You're seeing more and more of Havertz on the bench as well now. So he's mixing things up. So it's nice to see that he's keeping people on their toes. Like we got Azpilicueta starting today. Like, you know,
I'm surprised by that.
I'm so very surprised about this. Like, to be honest with you, if I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous with the lineup that he's put out.
Who would you have rather start then?
Well, I would have liked to see Mendy in goal. To be fair,
He's not favouring Mendy at the minute, is he?
at all, not at all.
But it's the passing out from the back probably is one of the big things, isn't it? Because Kepa's better with his feet than Mendy.
He is, but I would have also liked to see Broja start as well, and I would love to see Gallagher as well start in there too, to give the youngsters a chance as well, because they got nothing to lose. But yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do the predictions before we talk about United. Malcolm, prediction?
So I don't think we'll lose, but what I'm going to say that we're going to either draw, or I think we're going to win narrowly by like 2-1.
Okay, all right, Neeks?
Despite all my big talk.
Big talk.
Big talk, small prediction.
I'm going 1-1. Because
1-1?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
We've drawn 4 games. The last 4 games, Man United and Chelsea, have all been draws, home and away. Chelsea haven't beaten us in the league since 2017, and they haven't beaten us in any competition. I think it's since the FA Cup final 2018, I believe.
Is that,
or in the Premier League,
at Stamford Bridge?
No, that's
anywhere.
In all Premier League. They haven't beaten us since 2017. So as hard as it is to go to Stamford Bridge, and it is, even when we were like the best team in the country, we used to go to Stamford Bridge and get touched. Like it was disrespectful. So I can't take this game lightly. We've had some epic games down the years. They go 3-0 up, we come back and 3-3, all them kind of thing. So I can see a 1-1 because this is a game I think both teams don't want to lose. Chelsea, even though they drew against Brentford, they've been getting some good results with Potter, and they're kind of building something. We've been getting some good results since the Manchester derby. A draw right now, especially with Spurs' form and Liverpool's form, is not really a bad result if the aim is to get top 4 for both sides.
That's a fair and very mature.
And they're actually a good side, other than the one that we played on the midweek.
Oh, I'm going to get to you in a minute. Outrageous. I think this might be a draw also. I feel like I'd like to change it up because I don't really want to sound like you. But I also thought this might be like a 1-1 draw, just with caution in this game. As you mentioned it, talking about Wednesday's game against Spurs, what did you take from that game as a United fan?
So what I liked about the game is that throughout the season, we've seen little patches where you're saying, oh, that's what Ten Hag wants to do. We can see what he's doing, but we can't do that for either a sustained period of time in the match and definitely not for 90 minutes. So even the Arsenal game, first 10, 15 minutes, we played well. Then they got the disallowed goal and the game kind of flipped. Fortunately, we were able to score against a run of play. But from then, pretty much until the end of the game where we were just on the counter, they were dominating. Then we've had games since then where 20 minutes, but the Everton game, the first half, we played brilliant football. And that was the best 45 minutes all season. Second half, we fell off. What we were able to do against Spurs, and I agree, and I'm sure most Spurs fans would, you lot facilitated this because you were so 100%. Bad. But for 90 minutes, we were able to play the exact way from minute 1 right to the end, exactly how Ten Hag wanted to play, which means that I can see that the players have got the ability to do it. It's about the consistency, not just over 90 minutes, but the next 90 minutes.
It's about the application throughout the whole game.
So I like that. And despite everything that happened after, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, we had the good performance, the best performance we had under Ten Hag, probably one of our best since LVG days, and we got the result to go with it. So I took a lot from that game. I took a lot from it.
Okay. Guys, make sure you send in your predictions for what you think the score is going to be in this game, who you think might score as well. So far, the poll predictions we've won, it's 40% Chelsea win, 33% draw, and 26% Manchester United. But send them in, we'll have a readout of them. Just carrying on from what you were saying about Wednesday night, I think you're spot on that Spurs completely facilitated United. I think that Spurs literally didn't even get a kick in that game, pretty much. There was no service to Kane and so on. I think it was exactly how it could have possibly have gone perfectly for United and just awfully for Spurs. And that was, that's our own fault. But I think that today is a really big test for you, especially going away to a club like Chelsea where, like you said, you haven't done historically that well.
Yeah.
We're going back a little bit, but Stamford Bridge has always been a tough test. So I think today it's actually more of a test for you than it would have been on Wednesday night. I think having Spurs in that anti-football phase.
I'd agree. What was interesting in the Spurs game as well was that obviously we know that we have the qualities on the counter attack, and a lot of people say, if you want to play against Man United, you sit back, don't allow them to counter. But despite Spurs sitting back, we were still able to create loads of chances. So despite still Spurs being bad, we still show that we have the ability that when a team does sit back, we can still have the quality, whether it's in pressing, or just chance creativity, passing, etc.
And getting possession back.
Yeah, winning it high up the pitch. Fred was brilliant, and obviously he's not playing today. Rashford's made a poor pass, but he's not playing today. So it's interesting that obviously the tactical is handball. There's a tactical change from Ten Hag to go with Eriksen instead of Fred. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out.
Well, he's played that role previously at Spurs as well. So
yeah.
Be interesting to see how he fares today. Malcolm, are you a fan of Graham Potter since he's come in? Have you seen any improvements in Chelsea?
It's funny that you say that because just watching the game right now and seeing how the team's set out, it looks like he's got Cucurella in left centre back, which looks like Brighton bias there, and then he's got Ben Chilwell on the wing back on the left as well. So I'm a little bit worried here with the lineup myself, and I haven't really been convinced of Potter since he's come in. I know we haven't lost under him, and stats don't lie, but I do miss Tuchel still. I think I'm still.
Were you surprised you got rid of Tuchel?
Yes, because I thought it was very reactionary, even though Mr. Bowley said, it's not reactionary, we just think it's the best thing for the club. I'm all for about the best thing for the club, but I am still grieving with Tuchel.
I said grieving.
No, it's like a loss, to go from winning the Champions League with someone you never expected would do that in this first season.
Yeah.
And then now to going from that to now being fired and sacked is like.
And I think it was the timing.
It's such a turbulence.
If Bowley sacked him as he came in as owner, you would say, okay,
fine,
fair enough. I don't agree with it, or I'm not happy, but you're the new owner. You want your new man in.
Exactly.
To do it after you just spent 250 million in the transfer window.
Exactly.
It's like, so what the hell was all that summer for? Like, who were you building it for?
There obviously must have been things that were going on behind closed doors throughout the summer from when Todd Bowley took over. But I would say going back to last season, the back end of last season, I didn't think Chelsea really looked great after Christmas. I did feel that you had gone a little bit stagnant.
We had gone stagnant, but then if you link the chain of events with Tuchel going, with our form towards the back end of last season, to me it's just very interesting, and I think it's bad timing with how Bowley's come in. Bowley's kept him on. Tuchel's defended the club through very
turbulent times.
Turbulent and political times as well, unfortunately. It's just to me, it's just like we should have kept going with Tuchel and we should have backed him. And I know we backed him in the transfer window, but it was just like, for me, I'm still missing someone who brought us our second Champions League game in our history. Someone who does that needs more time and more patience,
and
especially
has earned more time, right?
Exactly, and especially how he conducted himself with questions about politics, which have nothing to do with football. I thought it was very commendable. But unfortunately,
you got to move on, innit? You got to move on. And as a Chelsea fan, obviously it's a new owner, but in the last 20 years, come up to 20 years, Abramovich came in 2003. all you've done is change managers, other than winning, of course.
It's
But
kind of a
you've
Chelsea
changed
DNA thing.
you've changed managers a lot. So Chelsea fans, I guess, have learned, as much as you've been attached to him, and you know they were attached to Mourinho, for example.
Yeah.
Have learned to adapt and get rid of, like, lose that attachment, or maybe not ever get really attached to a manager, because you never know when they're actually going to get rid of them. And some of them are going quicker.
It felt different with Tuchel. There was something about Tuchel, like when Roberto Di Matteo won, he was always sort of.
Yeah, you knew that was only a matter of time.
No, it wasn't that. He was branded at the time as an interim the whole
Yeah,
time.
okay, yeah,
So
yeah,
we knew at some point there would be a break.
Yeah.
Now, if Chelsea gave him a contract, we would have been like, okay, yeah, fair play. He's won something.
Yeah.
Not just anything, the Champions
Champions
League.
League, yeah.
Fair play. But if we had branded him as the manager to stay, then we got rid of him, then we would have felt a bit more heartbroken. The fact
Especially
that
as
Tuchel was
ex-player
coming,
as well.
exactly. Tuchel's coming, and I think we even offered him a contract. And then to go from that to just going, it still hurts. And seeing the comms that he brought out with after he came out saying that he's he's heartbroken himself, letting him go makes you think, gosh, if Spurs...
I hope that was the right decision.
Exactly, because if Spurs get rid of Conte, Tuchel looks very dangerous to Spurs, you know?
I think.
Even if Man United got rid of your manager
Yeah.
now, like, he looks dangerous for Man United.
It's like
you know?
you've got rid of a manager who could potentially hurt you in the future.
Exactly.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure Spurs fans would want another Chelsea manager. I
don't think so.
You know,
But-
three in the space of like 4 years.
Yeah.
I think.
But
I've
got to commend Conte. If you look at where Spurs were before Conte, you've got to give him respect.
Yeah.
He's come in and changed so much, the culture, the mentality. You just got to commend him for that.
Yeah, I always find this when talking to Chelsea fans that obviously you will hold Conte very dear in your hearts, and you will love Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
And I think Spurs fans, you know, do like Antonio Conte.
Come on.
Aubameyang's running out.
Aubameyang's coming up forward.
Let's see what
Aubameyang, come on.
Oh.
What kind of cross was that? Come on, man.
Aubameyang cross.
You were saying. You were saying.
Yeah, so I think Spurs fans have been on, you know, times when they really, really love Conte, times when they're, you know, kind of like now where they're not really sure because of the style of football. Did you feel when he was Chelsea manager, you played that anti-style of football?
What I like about Conte is he's all about winning. And he'll do anything. He'll do anything and everything to win. And it's very funny you bring this up because a lot of Chelsea fans were in that similar space of, gosh, it's kind of boring to watch Chelsea. It's very defensive.
So you did have the same kind of...
I didn't. I was like, watching Chelsea, I was like, okay, this is a bit boring, but I was like, we're winning.
But you know you're going to get results at the end of it.
And seeing, again, I hate bringing him up, but Eden Hazard, like seeing him in the Conte setup, we were spoiled. And seeing him leave made us even love him even more. When I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'm seeing Eden Hazard do his dribbling and that, we're putting old games up from like 2016, 2017 of Eden Hazard in a Conte setup is sorry, not even that Conte, 2017, 18 in a Conte setup. It's just so sad to have let him go, but I didn't care. I just cared that we were winning games. Don't care if we were defensive. It was nice to see someone strong like Costa up front, those kind of players, like Luiz, all those players. I do miss those kind of players.
Chance for United.
But yeah, I do miss that era of Chelsea with Conte. I really miss Conte. The passion, everything was great.
I think it's very interesting that you say that because I was of the very same mindset that I don't care how poorly we play as long as we win. But then when you see a game against Manchester United the other night where, you know, they barely got off the bus. You know, there was absolutely nothing there, and the stubbornness from Antonio Conte to not make substitutions until the 80th minute when the game's gone. You know, you guys scored your first goal at 46 minutes. You had the whole second half, and no one other than Hugo Lloris deserved to still be on the pitch. So I think that's what I think myself, and I think Spurs fans have the issue with that. Why are you not making impact subs? Why being so stubborn to the system?
But
the
then
system isn't working.
But then sorry. But you guys lost. If you had won that game and performed the way that you did, would you feel the way that you feel today?
I would say if we'd have played how we played and got a result, I'd say I don't know how we've done that. Because there have been games where we have managed to get a result and we played poorly, and I have been like...
But when you think about it, you played Chelsea, Arsenal and Man United this season. Chelsea played you off the park, you got a 2-2 draw.
Which was great.
Yeah. Arsenal played you off the park, you lost. we play just apart. This kind of result that we had on the weekend, sorry, the midweek, isn't even that surprising
on the
because
floor.
once you play a better
Aspi's
side.
on the floor.
Who's that?
Aspi's on the floor.
Aspi's on the floor. Let's see if is there anything in that one. Let's have a look.
Oh, I think it's connected the head.
Face.
Yeah, I think it was the back of Sancho's head to Aspi's front.
Talking about Man United, I like Anthony for you guys, you know.
He's
love
been a
him.
great player
I'm
since
jealous.
he's
I
first on the
love
team.
him though.
He does
Seeing the first goal that he scored. Do you remember the first
Against
goal?
Arsenal?
Was it against Arsenal?
Yeah. It was his debut and he opened his body up.
Yes, a debut. And that little score that he done as well on the ball. That just seeing him come in, it was like an injection of energy into your squad, which you guys needed.
Yeah.
I do think I know we'll talk about it probably a bit later on, but I'm gonna just address it now. Elephant in the room, Ronaldo. Like seeing Ten Hag take out Ronaldo, I think has been the best thing for you guys.
When you say take him out, you mean like drop him from the first 11?
Squad, yeah.
Or you mean you don't mean this game particularly? You mean just in general?
In general,
being on the bench. I agree.
I do think he's got more to give, but I just think Man United is the wrong environment for him.
100% agree. I think the way that Ten Hag wants to play doesn't suit this type of striker that Ronaldo is. Because Ronaldo is right now. Listen, he's a penalty box striker. Of course, we know in his career he's been a winger, flair, and all that kind of stuff. But he's not that anymore. He's going to be 38 in like February or something like that.
And I think the Premier League is the best league in the world, and I don't think it's a place for someone on the back end of his career to be starting purely because of who he is.
100%.
Now, I love Ronaldo. I bloody love him, but I just don't think this is the league for him to be
it's unforgiving.
Yeah,
it's unforgiving.
and I would also say that United have probably done that in the past with playing players because of who they are in their name.
Exactly.
And I think what's been good with Ten Hag, you know, in terms of maybe dropping Maguire at times, or you know, making that stance with Ronaldo and other members of the squad, is saying, okay, well, this might have been the case, and this is why this club has got into the situation it's got in, and the team has been so fractured. I'm going to make my stance and come in, and if you don't like it, then you can kind of lump it.
This is why.
And I think that's good for
This
United.
is why, as bad as the situation is with Ronaldo, and it could be any player, but Ronaldo first refusing to come on, which obviously we found out a bit later, but refusing to come on and then walking down the tunnel. As bad as that situation itself has strengthened Ten Hag's position. And I guess his response to that situation has strengthened his position, because if anyone even thought that they could have got away with something, this has nipped that in the bud already.
Do you think that under
that just take that out of your mind already, because you can't get away with it.
Under a different manager, potentially in...
what shot?
Good save. How did he dig that one out?
Under Solskjaer, do you think that he would have been as firm? Or do you think...
No, Solskjaer's not that kind of manager. The way that he is, and I guess he's played with Ronaldo as well, so there's that element. So first and foremost, he's probably not dropping Ronaldo, because he's doing what he can to keep his big players happy. He never, and Ten Hag didn't do this per se. It's not something I agree with managers doing. Jose does this, it's up to him.
Mamma mia!
Chance for United.
Did Cheltenham clear that? No, maybe it's went right through.
Let's see.
Oh no, it's another corner. Yeah, another corner. So who was that? Who crossed that? Sancho.
That was a Sancho cross into the box.
And maybe it was.
So far in the opening
Silva?
15, it's kind of looked like United have been more on top. Would you say, Malcolm?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I do think United look really strong and up for it today. I do think we haven't really got off our starting position yet. We haven't had a... What's the word I'm looking for? Whoa! Okay.
Varane.
That just destroys what I was saying.
You got off your starting position.
That was...
I think it's been a bit of a tactical start. Like, I don't think...
A bit like chess, innit?
Yeah, no one's really going to go in gung-ho, but they're both trying to...
Ease yourself into the game, see kind of who's going to bite first or make a mistake first.
I think it's very like it's very much a sort of a game of chess. And also, again, both managers would love this win. I think it'd feel like a loss if we drew. Like if you guys drew, if we drew today,
both managers
would feel like it's a loss.
On this. Ooh, what's going on?
What's Cucurella doing?
Controlling the possession.
Fair play.
Let's have a look at some of the predictions in here. Anonymous, who said Chelsea 4, United 0.
4-0?
That's why he wanted to be anonymous. You know? Didn't want to put his name to it. Zixi said 0-0. Lewis Brown said 2-2. Kips United said 3-1 to Arsenal.
What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Defo, a draw in this game, it's going to be boring. Chelsea can't score goals, they can only defend. Do you think that's a fair comment?
I think that's a fair comment, to be fair. I think since Diego Costa, no, actually, yeah, Costa, to me, if I look at strikers in our history, in recent history, I'd say Costa, Drogba. Everyone else just feels like a big blur of just us trying to put a puzzle that doesn't fit, you know. So, and if I look at the game right now, Aubameyang's up top. Doesn't excite me.
Okay, he doesn't excite you.
It doesn't excite me.
The amount of money you've spent,
doesn't excite me, man.
Why does it not excite you?
This is probably like a topic for another day, but I will say I've been screaming Haaland for so long.
Well, that ship sailed.
I know, of course it's gone. But I love Haaland.
What else will get you going other than Haaland?
Bring Lukaku back.
No, please.
Let's do it for a third
Please
time.
please don't.
Well, he's only on loan. He's only on loan, so...
That's true.
So apparently we have tied a deal for Nkuku.
Okay,
Oh, yes.
good player.
That fills me
player.
with optimism a little bit. Again, doesn't feel like the killer that we need, you know?
He's got a lot of potential.
But
That
I
if
think
he-
Aubameyang is a killer. Like, I'm worried today in the sense that if
experience.
Aubameyang gets one chance, I think he's scoring.
But the problem with
we've missed
that,
a lot
though-
of chances in recent weeks. because
The
we ain't got
problem with
killer.
that, though, is that I think we're playing Aubameyang because of who he is. I don't think we're playing him because
Okay, you
he's
said
got it in
you said you would have
himself.
gone with Broja, wouldn't it?
I would have put in Broja. I would have put in Broja 100%.
So you weren't excited about having Aubameyang at Chelsea?
Nah, not one bit at all. Not one bit. I think we missed a massive ship that sailed of Haaland.
Yeah,
big time.
the season that you bought. Come on!
That's it. Man United in the box.
I thought you would have put that in first time. Is he offside?
Interesting.
He's
Let's see if they
offside.
can do something.
But
there.
Sancho has to put that across the box first time.
If Chelsea had like Harry Kane, that would be nice. You know,
Yeah,
that would be lovely. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure
Like,
you can keep dreaming.
but
Keep dreaming.
I miss that sort of like old school sort of striker, that
Yeah, like a
dominant,
proper-
that
proper number
talisman.
nine, yeah.
You know, proper up top number
maybe
nine,
not
which we
first time.
haven't had for so long.
Yeah.
So that is a great
I
comment.
feel like you have struggled with strikers, haven't you? Like
Big time.
it's always
Morata,
a thing,
Torres,
Higuain.
Higuain. Who else has been?
Obviously Lukaku himself.
Yeah,
Lukaku.
Lukaku.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've suffered, but I just, when I look at today, Aubameyang, that comment that you said a minute ago, I just think, I would say no, but I'm going to say yes, like, if I'm being honest. We don't look good up top.
What about Raheem Sterling?
He can't do it himself.
Is that what you
know,
feel? Would you
he
have
can't.
preferred to have Gabriel Jesus?
No. I don't, because Gabriel Jesus, we wouldn't have played him consistently because we would have still been unconvinced by him. He needed to go to an environment like Arsenal.
Where he's the first
where
choice,
First
not getting
choice,
dropped.
no
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
That long run.
And get the confidence.
Like
in it,
3-4 games, no goal, you're
still
still playing
playing,
him.
yeah.
Rather than him being in a position where, oh my gosh, I haven't scored in 3-4 games, I'm going to get dropped.
Because that's what it was at Man City.
That
At Man
fear,
City.
exactly.
Yeah.
That fear can really get in a player's head,
Absolutely.
and the confidence goes. So yeah.
Neeks, how are you feeling about United today? Have you seen any continuation of Wednesday, or is it a different game plan today?
It's different. It's different. But I think there's two things. You're away from home.
Virginia,
Chelsea are better than Spurs. I think they are. Like, granted, Spurs are above them in the league. I think the turmoil at the start of the season for Chelsea is a part of that.
what a
But
I was gonna say.
I think Chelsea got a better squad overall. He can, as you said, Potter's changed his team a lot this year. I can't even. Like, I'm looking at my fantasy football.
James
Who
in
do I
the
put in?
crowd.
Reece
Chilwell.
James with the green hair.
Who do I put in? Chilwell, Cucurella. I don't know what he's doing. So it's like they've got the options. Whereas you look at Conte, the reason why he didn't make maybe those subs until the 80th minute, and he spoke about it, to be fair, at the end of the transfer window. Despite a lot of fans and Spurs fans probably, especially in the first month of the transfer window, saying they won the transfer window because you signed all those players at the beginning, he wasn't very happy with the transfer window, and he's said that a couple times. My squad's not ready, it's not the best squad, this, whatever. So I think Chelsea are a different test. Is he onside? Chelsea are a different test, I would say a harder test away from home than we had against Spurs.
Cucurella,
But
he
I've
looks
seen
messy, bruv.
things already in this match in terms of our passing, playing out from the back a few times on the counter, where, again, we're playing in a way that Ten Hag wants to play in short bursts. I'm liking it. I'm not getting too excited. We're a long way from where we need to be. And, you know, a goal changes the game. If anything can happen. But the first 20 minutes, I'm comfortable. Stamford Bridge, I should be nervous right now.
And you're feeling comfortable?
And I'm uncomfortable.
Okay.
I'm very nervous right now.
Are you?
Very, very nervous.
Are you not? You're not confident in the way that the first 20 minutes has gone for Chelsea?
Not confident. There isn't much to split the two teams, but even Man United have had a few more shots than us on goal. Even that shot from Anthony was a nice little shot there.
It's just here on the screen. So you both had 2 shots. No, sorry. Chelsea have had 1 shot. United have had 2 shots. With United only having 1 on target. So it is very narrow.
No, but then actually touches in the box as well. It's 4 for Man United and 2 for Chelsea. So it just seems up top, Man United just seem more complete and more on it than Chelsea. I'm just really nervous, man. I'm just so nervous.
And also, they had the 60% possession.
Who, sorry?
It was 60% possession to Man United.
There you go. It's just more. Here we go again. Here come Man United in the box.
And that's what...
But I do think it's sometimes...
I thought he kept it on.
It's not always necessary with possession. I know
no, it's not. What I was going to say
I'm learning that with Conte. I'm learning that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not all about the possession.
Yeah.
But those possession stats is what Ten Hag wants to get to. We saw the way that Ajax play. We know the way that the Dutch coaches and the Dutch team play. He wants to get to a point where in every game, despite who you're playing, we are dominating possession. Now, of course, as I said, possession doesn't mean anything unless you're dominating the right areas.
Neeks, but just to back your point, sorry, as well, it also, having more possession, it's like having more money. It's about what you do with possession.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather have more possession and have option to do more with
than
that,
rather sit back
and just sit
and relying on
exactly.
We're running a poll, by the way, so make sure you go vote. Who should have started today, in your opinion, Aubameyang or Broha?
Who would you have? Sorry, start like.
I think I would have gone Broha as well.
I
think I would have done. But I can also see the logic of playing Aubameyang. Big game player.
It's just safe option. No one's going to like dig you out after.
Because if you play Broja and lose, everyone's like, why do you play Aubameyang? Whereas if you play Aubameyang and lose, it makes sense why you play Aubameyang. No one's going to question that.
I probably would have gone with the younger. I was going to say more athletic. They're all athletic. But I do see. I see the logic in it as well. There was a good chat here from AW who said I could see Ivan Toney working at Chelsea.
You know what? I love that comment. But the only reason why we're saying Ivan Toney is because of how well he's been doing this season.
Ooh.
You know?
Would he fit into your system though?
Only because we got Potter. If we had Tuchel, I don't see Tuchel backing him properly.
Yeah.
But because we got Potter, and Potter, he's been quite ballsy with his decisions in terms of who he picks to start.
I think you want that though, don't you?
You do want that.
Maybe you wouldn't expect it from Graham Potter.
You wouldn't, but I think we were talking about Conte a minute ago, right? And the squad that we had with Chelsea under Conte, it felt like with Conte we had like a skeleton, and we felt like we had at least one player in each position.
You always had just
that was a consistent choice. Yeah. And I think you need consistent choices who are going to be able to influence the revolving doors of players in a squad to calm them down in certain positions. So, for example, if you look at Hazard, when he played, he was always picked all the time, you know.
Sorry, Rashford scored a free kick from a similar distance against Chelsea from here.
Didn't score that one.
He didn't score that.
Didn't score that one.
I was trying to line it up, and if it went in the park.
But sorry, yeah, Ivan Toney, I like that. See, that excites me a bit more. That excites me more than Aubameyang.
Okay, that's interesting.
That does.
There's a lot of Man United fans who want
Would you like
Ivan
Toney?
Yeah.
Who would you like?
Let me answer that question first, the Toney one. Tony's a good player. You know he's going to cost a lot because he's English. That's the first thing. Premier League tax as well.
75, 80, 90 million.
Well, I don't...
Something
that's the biggest issue.
Yes.
Because he ain't that good. He's not that good. He's good, but he ain't 80 million good. Is what I'm saying. Not that... He's not...
He's good, but again, as you said, English tax, right?
Yeah. So it's all of that. So because of what he's going to cost...
You not paid 50 mil for Maguire.
80.
80, sorry.
80 mil. Yeah.
But this is the point.
Even worse, sorry.
Yeah, but this is the point.
Yeah.
Maguire was a good centre-back at Leicester.
Yeah.
A 40 million, 50 million max, because it's another Premier League club, at Leicester. But
here we
that
go,
means...
United are coming through now on the wing. You in the box, Sancho in the box.
Come on, Sancho, do something.
Okay, cool.
That's
another player we've got to talk about.
But if you take that 50 million and go, and again, it's not about even foreign over British, because it doesn't even necessarily mean, but you can get an Ivan Toney quality striker on the continent for 30 million less and use that 30 million in another position. That's the only not the only, but it's the biggest reservation
when you're
I
buying
have.
in the Premier League, of again what I've known with Spurs, when you go and buy from the back end of a Dutch league or something like that, or a Russian league or whoever, you know, you've got to wait for them to adapt and integrate themselves into the Premier League.
Yeah.
With buying someone, even though it might be more expensive, you've got someone that knows how to play in the Premier League.
I will agree with that, 70%, because you look at someone like Aspilicueta, it cost us £7 million. Look at him; he's just amazing.
Yeah.
Like, but he wasn't amazing in his first
But
season.
is it more noticeable? Is it more noticeable with the striker?
It is, because a striker's job is to score goals, right? So yeah, you're right as well. Then
And in the way that teams play, he's a lone striker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whereas
Striker,
in defence, there's a partnership going on.
There's someone that can cover you.
Yeah.
You know, you do obviously get found out at times, and
Yeah.
it can take you whiles to adapt. But I think that with the strikers, sometimes it's better to pay the money of someone that is Premier League proven than trying to find a bargain, because the striker is one of the most integral parts of your team.
Premier League proven doesn't always mean success, though.
Correct.
If you look at Lukaku, he went on loan to West Brom and he went to Everton. He was amazing, and he came to Chelsea.
Man's got the most
he
moves.
couldn't do it.
And then he's had the most transfers in most expensive transfers combined.
And then on top of that, just to add, if you're talking about Premier League proven, I know it's early days, but Aubameyang at Arsenal again. Then there's someone else that had it in my mind, but I've forgotten. But Premier League proven doesn't always mean successful, you know. And for me, sometimes you do want that innocent player who hasn't got the hype, who comes from a league which, for example, great example, Kante. He came from, I think, League 2 in France.
In France, yeah.
Came to Leicester and just is a revelation. And comes Chelsea, won the World Cup. You want that player who doesn't have the hype, has no pressure. If he comes, he fails. No one cares.
No
No one
one
knows.
Even this season now, when you join Man United, there's always that pressure because it's Manchester United. So whoever we get, there's always going to be that pressure. But you take two elements. Anthony comes for 70, 80 million. I can't remember what it was now. There's pressure on him immediately because of the amount that it cost.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he scored 3 in his first 3. So now he can, if he don't score for his next 3, it's about the performance now.
Yeah.
Because he's already scored the goals that kind of shut some things down. But the goals. Martinez comes. Now, Martinez was 50 million.
Yeah.
And obviously there's doubts because of his height. But he has bedded in seamlessly at 50 million.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't say it was
I wouldn't say seamless.
Come on! Yeah, let's go!
Oh, gosh. Great save from Kepa.
He came out quick.
Kepa's doing good.
Kepa's
Kepa's doing really good this season. What's going on the party? He's smashing it.
Let's just read some chats quickly. From Harry Kane, I don't sadly think it's the real one. Ronaldo doesn't care about United. He's just his legacy. That's just incredibly selfish of him to, I guess, behave the way he did the other night. David said, in the modern game, football is all about money. Zlatan brings leadership that's crucial for title-winning sides. He demands a lot from players around him. Same as Roy Keane or Patrick Vieira was the same. Inter said Richarlison would have been a good striker for Chelsea. Do you agree with that one?
For Chelsea, no. No.
You did try and go with him, though.
I don't see him as a killer again.
He's definitely not a killer.
He's
a good player.
Squad player.
Squad player? Yes, but I'd mark
You lot pay
him-
60 million.
But the thing is,
I think it's a good signing for you lot. But for Chelsea,
no. I would mark Richarlison just a little bit more than a squad player.
Yeah,
but not a regular starter.
No, like, for example, if Kulusevski is fit, Kulusevski starts.
Yes, okay.
Kulusevski starts.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit odd that he dropped Kulusevski at the beginning
very
of the
weird,
season because he didn't want to drop Son.
Yeah.
And it was kind of unfair, to be honest with you.
yeah.
But Richarlison deserved that chance to start.
But Richarlison at Chelsea, like we already got quite a lot of wingers. We got Ziyech, we got Sterling, we got all these wing backs as well that can play up top as well. We got Mason Mount. Havertz plays on the wings, doesn't really play in the middle. Like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And so Richarlison, I think, would have just been... He would have been a player that would sit on the bench quite often, you know.
We've got a super chat from Jay Tarek, who said, the hardest thing to manage is an ageing superstar. As a Juve fan, we sold Cristiano Ronaldo at the right time, but it's sad to see what he's doing at the club, most attached to him. P.S. Abbi Conte will come good. I hope so.
You sold him at the right time, but I saw you like languishing in 8 for something like that.
Wow,
Juve.
look at him.
Juve, they're terrible. No, you know what it is? Because listen, Ronaldo...
Tara's trying to give you some advice.
No,
he's trying to give you sympathy.
Thanks, but no,
Are you like giving him smoke for no reason?
Because Ronaldo, despite all of this, Ronaldo is my United legend. And that is set in stone already. So when they sold him to us, or it was like, oh yeah, he was the problem. He left, and Juve got worse. Juve were you win 9 in a row, cool. Or it might have been 10. No, Bayern was 10. I think they were 9. But it doesn't mean you're going to win forever. There's going to become a point where you're not going to win. Ronaldo just happened to be in the team that didn't win the 10th one after winning the 9, and it was Ronaldo's problem. So where is the 10th? Win the next one now.
But the thing is, Neeks, there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
And in this past recent transfer
Sometimes
window, in this past recent transfer window, there's been such speculation that Ronaldo wanted to go. He wanted to go.
That was very, very
you
apparent.
guys, I think your owners was like, he's not going anywhere.
I mean,
he's not going anywhere.
Money.
Yeah, because
that's why commercial.
He was touting himself to everybody across Europe, and if someone would have said, "Okay, we'll match the wage," I assume that was the problem.
Well, it was two things. It was the wages and the transfer fee, because the Glazers wanted a fee for him.
Yeah. Because he's still got a year. He's out of contract.
Yeah.
When is he out of contract?
At the end of the season. But technically, and we're not going to do it because that would just be terrible. We've got an option to extend it for 1 year. Now, if we're in the Champions League, he might think, oh, you know what, I want to stay because I want to play in the Champions League.
Think he'll
but Ten Hag wouldn't want him to stay anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because he's not going to be starting. So if he could guarantee he was going to start, he was guaranteed start in a Champions League team, and we couldn't offer that to him this season. But we wanted a fee for him because he obviously had 1 year left, whereas he wanted us to waive the transfer fee, so he can get the full contract. Yeah. Because obviously, if a team plays, say 25 million, or let's say 25 million for argument's sake, they can only pay him 25 million a year because they've only got a 50 million budget for Ronaldo. Whereas if they don't have to pay a transfer fee, they can pay him 50 million, for example, because they don't have to pay a transfer fee. So he wasn't willing to lower his wage demands so that a team that may come in for him can afford to pay a transfer fee that Man United want and afford his lower wages. Then, he wanted everything. He wanted the cake and he wanted to eat it.
Ronaldo, but then,
so he's in a situation.
That's not great when you think about it, because if he was touting himself everywhere and he was willing to kind of do whatever he could other than take his own wage cut for someone that doesn't need the wage.
But that's why the previous comment was correct. Ronaldo's thinking about himself. He's thinking about his legacy. He's thinking about his money, of course. And Man United is not his priority, which I don't have a massive problem with, because as a person, your priority should be yourself. But in the context of a team, you have to understand you don't always get your own way. So you're going to put your interests first, but you understand that, well, I signed that contract. And I didn't put in a Champions League release clause, i.e. if we don't get in the Champions League, I can leave for X, Y, Z.
So then him storming down the tunnel and the various other things that have gone on, that doesn't annoy you?
No, of course it does. But I'm saying it doesn't stop him from being a legend.
Neeks, the thing is, Neeks,
it doesn't stop him from being a legend.
This is the thing I said to you earlier. I said to all of us earlier. The environment which Manchester United have built up with Eric Ten Hag, can't talk, Ten Hag, is not the right environment for an aging legend. Yeah. I heard a crazy story about Ronaldo, right?
Go on, Rashford.
When in his early days at Man United, here comes Rashford. Here comes Rashford now.
Insane!
Kepa! Wow!
Kepa's on it today.
Kepa's like a cat.
Kepa's been on it for like last games.
I want to talk about the keepers in a sec.
So in his early days at Man United, when Ronaldo was there, early days, his mentality was mental. So he came on the pitch in a Champions League game towards the finals. I think it was a quarter-final game. He came on for 10 minutes. Come on! Man United are looking.
Sancho.
Shot.
Lovely save again, man.
Goodness me. He came on for 10 minutes in the Champions League game, and he was really upset, right? And so apparently the legends like Ryan Giggs were like, they saw him after in the gym on the treadmill, and they asked him, why are you on the treadmill after the game? They're like, no, I only came on for 10 minutes, so I've got to,
get myself more ready.
Use my body more. And I think the fact that Ronaldo's not playing, I don't think it's an ego thing as such. I think it's a bit of that in there too. But I think it's more the fact that he's not even had a chance to just get on a pitch and use his body.
And
he's just sitting on the bench. Whereas other legends would just sit on the bench, be comfortable, like, listen, I'm getting paid. I'll just sit here, show face, wave hand.
That was my
he
point.
wants to play.
If you wanted to play football, take the pay cut and go.
Yeah.
You want to play
If your priority is to play football,
then
make it your priority.
Exactly.
Take it away.
But the thing is,
He wants it both. He wants everything.
We don't know that because he tried to go, and the Glazers were like, he's not going anywhere. Ten Hag said he's not going anywhere.
The Ten Hag. See, it's very interesting.
You can't force your way out.
No, it's interesting with the Ten Hag because it's clear Ten Hag doesn't really want him.
Yeah.
Doesn't really want him now.
So his reason for keeping him, I think, is a lot to do with the owners in the sense that
commercial,
if we lose
Mason
Ronaldo,
Mount coming up now.
if we lose Ronaldo, yeah, let's see this. Mason Mount.
Let's see if Mount
Mason
can do
Mount
anything.
We've been dominant.
You've been
We've
great.
Been
Nah, you
dominant.
know what? I'm gonna give it to you, man.
We've been dominant.
You cheats have been great. You cheats have been fantastic. This perfect.
Let's just read some of the chats. Inter says Tammy Abraham for Chelsea.
What, backing?
We've got a buyback clause, don't we?
You love to sell and buy back. So.
Hold on a minute. Coach is coming back on the pitch. Coach is
Who's coming off? Probably. I bet it's Abbi, and he's going to put Loftus-Cheek right wing back. That's what I'm thinking.
Leo said Aubameyang is not a big game player.
Sorry?
Aubameyang is not a big game player.
He's not. Sorry.
I think there might be Arsenal fans that would strongly probably disagree with that.
Yeah, because they have soul ties of Aubameyang. Aubameyang's got a 14 on his arm, innit, and all that.
This one's gonna get Neeks round up. PSX said Real Madrid is the most club attached to Ronaldo. United fans are delusional.
That's fine. No, he is a bigger Real Madrid legend than he's a Man United legend. Partly because...
Oh, that is a good question to debate about.
He is. He was there
That's
for...
a good question to talk about.
He joined in 2009 and he left in 2018. So he was there for 9 years.
Mm.
He was at Man United for 6 years. So there's that. His peak years were at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He won 5 Champions Leagues.
Neeks.
He was competing with Messi year after year after year. So
could he have done what he done at Madrid at Man United?
No,
exactly.
Because
definitely not.
And I think one of the big reasons is it's the Man City factor and the Chelsea factor, and I say that because at Real Madrid in La Liga,
there's a fight.
Mount and Anthony.
Luke Shaw.
You know, it's Mount and Martinez.
Luke Shaw stepping in to help Mount.
Mount's too emotional, you know. Sometimes you get that vibe from him. He's a little bit too emotional, man.
But yeah, I'll say the reason why is because Real Madrid and Barcelona dominate La Liga. So you go to one of those two teams, you're guaranteed to be challenging for everything.
But he elevated them, though.
Yeah, of course he did.
Like, he elevated Madrid to heights.
Of course he did. But then you come to Premier. We know how competitive the Premier League has been.
Yeah.
And it's like, Fergie was able to win 3 in a row at certain periods, but 2009 obviously he left, so we don't know what would happen. But Chelsea won it in 2010. We won it back in 2011. Man City won in 2012. We won it back in 2013. So it's this little give and go. And you're not, those teams weren't, even though we got to 2 Champions League finals in a row, Real Madrid are the most successful Champions League team of all time because when they're not successful, their owners just go and they pump in money until they get right back to the top.
But you got a lot
so you go to Real Madrid, you're guaranteed to success and guaranteed to be like a legend if you perform there.
You man got, I think Ronaldo has a lot to owe to Fergie. Yeah. Because if you man didn't have Fergie when Ronaldo was there, I don't know if we would have had Ronaldo be who he is today in terms of his mentality. Because Fergie's mentality and the way that he managed those players, you had legends in there like Ryan Giggs, Scholes. Fergie was able to manage those big personalities. Those big...
Oh, so close.
I don't think he got enough on that, man. He didn't get enough on that. But yeah, like, I think Ronaldo's got a lot to owe to
But I think part of, when you say the mentality, because there was a couple times where he actually wanted to leave Man United because of he was having to get a tough time from the media. After World Cup 2006, where Rooney got sent off and he did a wink, and they were hounding him out. And Fergie kind of just, well, obviously, you're one of my best players. Maybe at the time was the best player. You're not leaving. But it was more a case of, like, don't, like, kind of, you have to fight through this. You need to fight through this adversity. Now, if Fergie had allowed him to leave, and then he faced some adversity elsewhere, he might just run. Last time I ran and I moved on. But he got through that, won 3 Premier Leagues in a row, Champions League, won the Ballon d'Or. So he goes to Real Madrid mentally hardened. I can deal with anything.
And we know Real Madrid having won it already.
Exactly. And Real Madrid are unforgiving. There was a point where they were getting, they were booing Ronaldo, white flags and all that kind of stuff. But he's dealt with pressure already, so he knows it. So yeah, I think he would say that Fergie is like a massive
Fergie as well, but also I think Ronaldo really bought into Fergie as well, at times as well too.
Who wouldn't,
to be fair? I think at times, because I remember a story again. Ronaldo, I think, was in the changing room, and then they were going around saying, "Who's the best player of all time?" And he said, "Me." You know, it's like, and I think there's been little glimpses of Ronaldo having that mad mentality, you know, very, very early before he's Ronaldo. And I think it's very exhausting having that mentality when you're a nobody, you know. And I think there's been a lot of give and take.
It's the belief in yourself.
It's the belief, but when those days where that belief is low on those days, you really can see Fergie has coached him to sustain that mentality and sustain that confidence, which
come on,
you always have. Yeah.
Come on. It's a fair point. Just when we ran that poll earlier of Aubameyang or Broha to start, it was 64% that went with Aubameyang.
Of course,
and 35% with Broha.
Safe option.
Let's read a few more chats. Let's read a few more. David said, Bellingham is possible to sign next season for United. Let's see how the season goes.
I don't know.
I think Liverpool fans might have something to say about that one.
I don't know about that one.
Sorry, so it was Cucurella who came off.
Yeah, Cucurella.
Have they changed the formation? I would
wonder what they've
assume so. Because Cucurella was playing
Cucurella
left
was
centre
playing
back.
terrible though.
But he was playing left centre back, so they must have changed the formation.
He was playing. He was pushing people off like he was playing terrible, bro. He wasn't doing the business.
Do you think that's a good thing to swap things out early doors if you see a problem?
I think confidence-wise, I think Cucurella's confidence isn't.
Aubameyang!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, Aubameyang!
Wow.
I'm not convinced, you know.
What was
I'm
that?
not convinced.
So far, you know what? Towards the back end of this half, you've had more.
I'm not convinced.
You have had more of the chances.
Oh! Is that Anthony?
Anthony, yeah. Man just rolled him.
Listen, I like Anthony, you know. I like him.
Come on, Rashford, what's
He's a good I think this has been quite even this half. Would you
No,
Man United dominated.
I think in the last 5 minutes or so, Chelsea have
Maybe
been
the
more
last
there.
5 minutes. We've had 7 shots to Chelsea's 4. Sorry, 2. We've had 4 on target to their 0.
I think it's quite even.
58% possession.
I don't think you've necessarily barred.
You see, Aubameyang at Arsenal, that's going in.
I haven't felt like you were doing much in front of goal. I feel like it's all been very fair in the middle.
If there was any team, but that's why he's brought on Kovacic to try and get some control in the middle.
Yeah.
We've been dominating the game. Like, I'm not saying it's been all out. It's not like, listen, you got PTSD. It's not what we saw. Look, what we saw against Spurs is not what you're going to see all. These are 2 evenly matched teams. We've gone away from home with 58% possession. We're the better side. We're not massively. I'm not even saying we should be leading.
I mean, still
we ain't had a really clear-cut chances.
You've had chances.
You've had chances.
But you know what? It should
shocking
be,
miss.
It should be 1-0 Chelsea right now.
Yeah, it should be.
Because that chance that Aubameyang just had there, that was clear cut.
Henry's taking that down, not Aubameyang.
That was clear cut.
No, man.
Aubameyang at Arsenal, yeah, that's going in.
I don't know, man.
Aubameyang at Arsenal, that's going in.
I think he's stretched for it, and he's 34 years old. The limbs ain't as supple as they used to be, innit? Ain't as supple.
It make him sound like he's a geriatric of some sort. He's not a geriatric, you know. Okay.
A geriatric. That's mad. Let's see.
Oh, no.
That's Chelsea's first shot on target.
That's the first shot on target. I still don't think you've blown me away, to be honest with you.
Because Chelsea are a good side. Chelsea are a good side.
Yeah, good side.
Yeah, so we have to.
Don't blow me away.
Because they're a good side. Who blows Chelsea away? When's the last time Chelsea were blown
I don't
away?
know. You're not saying you're that good. I'm waiting to be blown away.
Aubameyang again, bro. Aubameyang.
This guy.
Dallo. See, now he's changed.
Aubameyang is just not doing the business.
He's changed the formation. He's done with the free midfield. And they're trying to gain some control.
Aubameyang doing the business, you know. I would love to see how Nkuku's going to fit in this team when he comes over.
Dallo.
Yeah, I agree.
Is he going to play
see
on the wing or in the centre? I don't. If anyone knows in the chat as well, any ideas?
Nkuku
Did he even touch that?
Nkuku facts.
Yeah, Nkuku facts. I don't watch him play, so.
He's probably, I would like consider. Okay, you started in the
German league.
But you started in the 3-4-3 today. So you had the 2 behind the striker.
Yeah, 2 behind the striker.
Yeah, so Mount and was it Sterling? See, in that formation, I see him as one of those 2 behind the striker because he plays more of a support striker as opposed to a number 9.
He's not a killer.
I don't really know in terms of like his conversion rate and all that kind of stuff. But he's not the number 9. There's usually someone he plays off. So I wouldn't expect him to play the Aubameyang role, for example.
He has scored a lot of goals in Germany. He has, but again, like Werner did, and we know what Werner did at Chelsea. Come on. So, but yeah, he scored a lot of goals in German league.
Yeah. I want to talk about the keepers in a sec. Let's just run through a few more chats. We've got a super chat from AMG. Domaya LH. Shout out to Abby, always doing a great job. Thank you very much. Honestly, the only Tottenham fan I could listen to. Keep it. One question: do you think Tottenham would still finish above Arsenal? I will say. Ty is still here, by the way. Ty's giving me eyes from the corner of the room.
Go on. Actually,
1-0. Oh,
has he missed that?
He missed that.
Oh no!
Oh my days!
Oh no!
How has he missed that?
Right foot, isn't it? His right foot's a swinger.
We've got out of jail there. We've got out of jail.
My God!
That's clear cut.
That's clear cut chance.
That's
well,
clear
yeah,
cut.
yeah,
I thought that was in.
Yeah, that was clear cut.
Wow.
Look, bang there.
Oh, see, because he just gone with that. He come with that kind of lace, and he's ended up probably even like toe punting it. You see, yeah.
That should be 1-0
Oh
Man United.
my
That's mad.
God!
Sorry, keepers. Sorry.
Oh my God! He should have.
Yeah, one
Oh,
question.
sorry.
Do you think Tottenham could still finish above
yeah,
Arsenal?
yeah.
I don't. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility. I think it's a very long season. Let's see what happens after the World Cup, to be politically correct, because I think that it's going to be a very weird season, the second half of it.
Weird season.
With lots of fatigue, lots of injuries. Make sure, guys, you hit the like button and subscribe as well. So I'm still going to back Spurs, just to keep doing it. Finished above you for, is it like 7 years in a row, is it? Something like that? I don't know. Let's see. As long as they don't win the league, I don't actually care if they finish above us at this point. As long as they don't win the league.
St. Tottenham's Day is going to return.
I will have
St. Tottenham's Day.
So how sad.
The day that Arsenal finish above Chelsea.
Live in their heads rent free.
It's the day when Spurs can no longer
I'm gonna make a statement. Yeah, it just seems to me that Arsenal.
Oh, that inhale of breath from Neeks.
It seems to me that Arsenal fans hate Spurs more than Spurs hate Arsenal.
No, we do, but we just don't care that much. Like,
Arsenal fans hate Spurs. Like, I don't see Spurs
they talk
hate
about us
towards
at every moment.
all the time, innit? All the time.
It's mad.
I know last season they were burning last season about them not getting top four.
And in the way that it happened.
You got fourth, like.
I know it was jokes.
In the way that it happened.
And then, I feel like Arsenal fans love to bite so quickly. They
Bite
get
bare
rattled
quick,
really
all the time.
Quickly. But you do, Ty. You do.
No, mate.
Oh, we should be 1-0.
Right, let's talk about this quickly. We are now halfway through the game. Neeks had a chance there, didn't need to make it 1-0. Are you disappointed that he didn't? Should Anthony have finished that?
Yeah, he's he's very left-footed. You see, anytime he gets the ball, he's always trying to come inside.
Yeah.
And
Pause.
maybe he's trying to
Yo.
come inside. I don't know his private life. But
Keep it PG.
Yo, it's kids
yeah,
in that,
true
bro.
say it's still but and it kind of showed in that side. What you need there is a side foot finish, place it, roll it past the keeper. He's gone. Like, he just swung at it, toe punt it really, and it swerved away from the goal. So that's a massive chance. And for me, despite your hate, for me that would have been a goal that we would have deserved.
So sensitive, aren't
based
you?
on us
Very.
being
So
the more
sensitive.
very. Once the 90 minutes over,
Oh, bless
you know,
you.
my best friends. Maybe you never know.
Maybe.
Maybe, like-
But during the
something to
90
say.
In-out
minutes,
talk, bro. Are you
During-
friends or not?
during 90 minutes, there's no friends. But for me, it would have been a goal that, and it's not overly dominant, but the way that we've been on the front foot at Stamford Bridge, pressing them high, win the ball up, and not creating a lot of clear-cut opportunities, but a lot of openings. Rashford's had the opportunity, a few shots from wide. Kepa's made a couple good saves. So it's a shame we didn't take it. We missed a lot of chances in the first half against Spurs, and I was shook, on the counter-attack, Kane and Son's going to punish us. Fortunately, we got a goal straight away after half-time. We need to make sure that the first half that we played is not, and without scoring, is not punished in the second half.
That's a fair point. Malcolm, I do think that you actually were okay. I thought the first 15 minutes you were quite rocky, but I personally feel that it was pretty even after that. I really do, especially since the introduction of Kovacic. What do you feel about that first half?
I don't know how I feel about that first half, to be fair with you.
What is it that you're disappointed over?
I'm disappointed at how we look up top.
Yeah.
That's how I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with the changes. It's too early to make a change. It's good to see that Potter is flexible, but to change things after 35
But you look
minutes...
better. You look better for it.
But I said at the start that the lineup looks a bit shaky, and we had a Kovacic on the bench. Like, he's one of our best midfielders.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
that's worrying. You know, And it seems to me that Potter's are overthinking things. But in the last 45 minutes, how we looked, I don't think we've looked all that good. I think Man United have really come at us. And they look more up for it, the body language.
Do you think?
I think there's a handful of Chelsea players that look up for it. Mason Mount looks really up for it. He looks really emotional. I think we're really missing Reece James, man.
100%.
Big time.
Well,
There's no threat down that right hand side.
There's no threat.
You don't have to worry about that.
And where you got someone attacking on the flank all the time, he's like a steam train. It leaves space in the middle for players like Mason Mount to play, like Havertz to do. Be very.
You have to have a
sneaky.
plan to do with Reece James.
Exactly.
You don't have to have a plan to do with Aspilicueta.
To do with Havertz.
You might actually have a plan to attack Aspilicueta.
Yes.
Sanchez had a lot of the ball on that side.
He has had a lot of the ball in the box as well.
Yeah.
And that's where you guys can really hurt us. You know, so you had a chance of Rashford in the box that should have gone in as well.
Kepa came out very quickly.
He did.
Kepa did well.
Really good.
Kepa did well. He came out quick.
Kepa's looked really,
tried for the dig,
really
but it was
good.
so
I've
close
got to
to
take my hat off to Kepa. He's looked very, very, very good. I've got to be honest with you,
Yeah, I thought Kepa was done. I know you say you wanted to get into keepers.
Yeah, I do want to get into the keepers. You do it right now.
I thought Kepa was finished. Like 70 million, he's been on the bench for pretty much since Sarri or so.
From the Sarri days, that was.
It was horrible.
But as you can see, when a player refuses to be subbed off, there is redemption. She's sat there because it's 70 million investment. So,
but you've got two fantastic goalkeepers. I still think you can't say that Mendy's not a great keeper. I still think he is up there.
He was shaky at the end of last season. He was shaky.
I think Chelsea were shaky at the end of last season, though. In general, I think that. Are you surprised that when Potter's come in, he's gone to Kepa?
I'm very, very surprised. But again, we're not in training, and we're not watching a movie. We're watching real life football, real life sports, and so. There could be something that Mendy is doing or how he's training, and he just fancies Kepa. Again, Kepa's better with his feet than Mendy. Another thing is, again, Mendy, I just got the vibe from Mendy that Mendy has felt like the guy. When Mendy went off to AFCON, you could see that Mendy playing for Senegal, he just looked like Mendy, I'm meant to be here. And then you bring him back to Chelsea, he knows he's walking in to that first team squad sheet. And so there's something...
Is it about complacency?
It could be that, it could be that Potter's seen that, Mendy feels like he doesn't have to work that hard compared to Kepa. But I'm purely speculating because we're not in training. We don't see the attitudes and whatnot. And again, when a new manager comes in, there will be changes. If you look at back in the day, Conte, he came in and said, listen, I want Victor Moses.
Yeah.
Victor Moses was done out there. He was finished. Like he was alone.
Was it a Wigan or
someone? And he brought him back and said, I want him. And Victor Moses, I don't want to use the words world class, but he looked very, very good under Conte. He looks very, very good. But we just don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But it's very surprising, But he looks fantastic, Kepa, today.
Let's have a look at some of the chat. Super City said Chelsea were missing Kovacic and now they own the midfield. Liam has said this game has been boring. Aubameyang is washed. Jack said the Croatian midfielder is so effective in there. AW said lose-lose season for United. If City win the league, we are no longer the only ones to win 3 in a row. If Liverpool somehow won the league, they will equal us. I don't think there's any danger, do you think, of Liverpool winning it? Or,
Liverpool out of the title
race. But you know what? Sometimes you can't write people off.
I'm writing them off.
You're really writing Liverpool out of the title race.
They're done. They're not winning.
They're
not winning the league. Liverpool are in a top 4 battle. And it's because it's not like they're playing well and they're missing all these chances and all it needs is something to click. They're playing bad.
They've got injury
problems.
Liverpool.
They're playing bad.
Are you putting Liverpool out of the title race?
Wow, they're done, man. No chance Liverpool win the title. No chance. You've got to be
prepared that it's a very long season.
I think, Neeks, you know what? I'm hearing both of you guys and I think you're both right. But I'm going to lean towards you a bit more.
Bias.
You know why? Because I'm not biased. Because she's already got a partner, so it's already gone. Listen, I got to say, if you really deep it, Neeks, deep it, right? It's a World Cup. Slap bang. In the middle. Do you get me? So people are going to go off the World Cup. you got people like Haaland that's going to sit in his room all
Salah.
day.
Salah not
like
going
just
to
doing probably knowing Haaland, you'll probably just go and train every single
Man's
day.
gonna go in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, he's chilling.
And I
He's chilling.
just think
Hyperbolic time
when they
chamber.
get their
Charge
players
up.
back after injury,
Yeah.
you know, I just think you never know what's going to happen second
You never
half
know what's
season.
going to happen. You
So-
don't know. You don't know.
Someone weird could finish in the top 4. Like
You could win it. Honestly,
We need to win today first.
when you
We
have
need
a
the league
World
title.
Cup, when you have a World Cup slap bang in the middle, that's like a massive holiday.
Are you getting stats up?
Arsenal,
Hey, Jason.
Arsenal are 11 points
Hey, Jason,
ahead of Liverpool with a game in hand.
When Manchester City was it 10 points behind last season, or
No.
start of the season they were 10 points off top or something like that early on in the season?
Liverpool last season were about 13 points behind Man City,
Okay.
and they caught them by 1 point. They had a couple games in hand.
No,
That was last
the
season.
start of the season last year, City were not top.
Oh, they were behind Chelsea.
They were behind Chelsea.
Chelsea.
And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
about 10 points. Something like that. We need to get a fact check on that. But I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I don't know if
it
we're talking 11 points, and they're 11 points behind Arsenal. And
Yeah, but the
no, but
course
listen,
of
no,
the
but they're 11
season.
points behind Arsenal, who most people don't have as the favourites to win the league. So they're already 10 points behind Man City, and they're not playing. Like I can't, because you have to be better than Man City and Arsenal, as well as Spurs. Spurs,
Can't believe you even put that.
Chelsea, Man United, and technically Newcastle. Like you're not relying on one team to drop points. Arsenal, as Ty would know, beat us to the title race in 2002, and they were about 14 points behind us at one point. A few games in hand, but 14 points. But all you need to do is Man United need to drop points. We did the same in 2003, the next year, where we were maybe 8 or so points behind. All you're relying on is Arsenal to drop points.
But it does
When you're
happen.
relying on Arsenal, Man City, Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United to all drop points for you to win the title,
I'm not saying they're going to
For
win
me,
the
for
title.
me, they're out of it.
That wasn't the thing. I'm not saying
Yeah,
they're
but I'm
going to win
saying-
the
I'm saying
title.
they're out of it.
It was being in a title race.
no, they're not,
But
they're not even in the race for
But
it.
both of you are going at it. But again, there's a World Cup.
Exactly.
Slap,
This is my argument.
slap, bang
That
in the
is
middle.
fully my
You know what it
argument.
is? You know what it is, Nick? I will argue, yeah. Off the back of the World Cup, it's going to feel like a new season again.
Yep.
I hear that. I do hear that.
Like
I
a
do
new
hear
season.
that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're gonna have players come back with again, like maybe.
Could be anything.
We hope that they don't come
Could
with
be injury,
injuries,
fatigue,
but fatigue,
Fatigue,
anything.
motivation. So
Exactly.
maybe you won the World Cup. Maybe you got knocked out
And
of the group
actually,
stage. I hear
the
it, I
teams
hear
who
it.
have less people going, someone like, and this is not to sound disrespectful to the likes of a Newcastle potentially, or a Brighton, or a slightly smaller Southampton, players who maybe haven't got their whole squads
Yes.
or majority of their starting 11 away at the World Cup potentially. Those teams are actually ones to keep an eye on because they're fully fit, they've been training, they've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And then you get your teams back and some players are coming back at different times. Some need to be rested. Not everyone who's, let's say England, for example, got to, I don't know, the final, right? Let's say they got to the final. Our
Where's
next game
Jamaica?
back. Our next game back is on Boxing Day.
Jamaica, huh?
Our next game back is on Boxing Day.
yeah,
So if
yeah,
you think about how many integral English players
Spurs
there
losing
are,
that game.
Spurs,
Kane gone.
You know, City, whoever. You know, Chelsea as well.
No, I hear you.
doing
A lot can
United.
happen.
There's plenty of players that play across all of the
Plenty.
top six.
You know what? I'll be happy.
You never know.
This is going to be very controversial right now, but I'll be happy if Reece James wasn't going World Cup. Apparently they're trying to rush him back. Apparently he may be even named in the 25 squad, provisional
Provisionally,
squad.
yeah.
But even players like Reece James who are integral to how we play, I'm kind of hoping that he don't go. But obviously for him he wants to go for obvious reasons.
The thing with the Reece James one, for me, it will be wrong
him,
to take him
yeah.
because I think they're saying potentially he could be ready for the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
But if you get to the quarterfinals, surely
Yes,
at that
and-
point you have to trust the players that got you to the quarterfinals.
And he wouldn't have played for,
for that long. And
two,
Reece
3
James,
months.
Reece James hasn't been a staple first name on the team sheet for England. Not saying he shouldn't.
Southgate,
but I'm not saying he shouldn't be.
You're right,
but
because Southgate can't settle
Yeah.
on players.
So the point
Other
is,
than Maguire.
so why would you? Yeah, but that's the point. So
because
why
we
would
are-
you bring a player
Okay, carry
who
on,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
even
Yeah.
100% certain that's going to start, that can only play
Do you know
quarter
why?
semi-final?
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because we know what the media's like. If you don't bring him in, it's like, why don't we go World Cup without him then?
Why
You know
would
what I
you
mean?
leave him? Even if he could play one game, why would you not bring him?
And that's how I feel.
Imagine you're Trippier, you get England to the World Cup final, and then you get dropped for Reece
Yeah.
James.
But that's how I
Hold
feel.
on, Lucas Moura got Tottenham to a Champions
And
League final.
Pochettino gets
Right.
chastised to this day for it.
But that's how I feel about. That's how I feel about Jack Grealish. Like, if he picks Jack Grealish to go to his World Cup, I'm sorry, man. Southgate is not the one for us.
Why? Over who?
Like,
He's picking him because he's playing for Man City. If he was playing for Aston Villa in the form that he's in, he would have no problem dropping it.
But Harry Maguire will still be probably the first name on the plane, and he's not even playing.
Potentially, the fact that he hasn't played for so long now, I'm not 100% sure. But there's a difference between Maguire and Reece James. Obviously, Reece James is a better player. But for Southgate, you've been relying on Maguire for 4 years. I think he's been there for about 4 or 5 years. So when you bring him in, you're bringing him in because you believe you're going to get what you wanted for the last 5 years. If you bring in Reece James, you didn't even trust him when he was on form. What are you trusting him on now?
Okay.
Because he hasn't played for... so...
Selections, okay? I know this is going to be very quick. If Southgate doesn't get us to at least the quarterfinals, should he go? Should he be sacked?
I think he should be... Unless he wins it, I think he should go anywhere. Because for me, it's not a case of England are good enough to win it or they should win it. I don't think they're favourites. But the reality is, it would be 3 tournaments, including the Nation League and that. One of them they got to the semis. The next one they got relegated. So you've had.
But no one really cares about.
No, I know, but you've had 3 tournaments, Euros, 2 World Cups, and the football is as stale as it was when it first started. So it's not like, when it was the World Cup 18, it's like, all right, he's only just got the job for a year, terrible Euros before that, allow him the time. But it's been 4 years since, and the football ain't got better.
But you can
so if the results don't, if the football, if that type of football doesn't end in trophies, what's the point?
But you can
also
you're
struggling
argue
on both
that
ends
even, again, a bit like Conte, if you suffer the football,
yes.
But you have to get the results, you have to get the trophy at the end.
But he's arguably been the most successful since, 66?
Yes.
But would you not say that
but if you don't win, if you don't win, at least enjoy the football. If you're not going to win it, at least enjoy the football.
But would you not argue, though?
I get that. I've been in that situation my whole life. I get it.
Would you not argue, though, that is...
I'm sure you look probably say it with Jose,
that is because of the wealth
of great talent we have.
Like if you look at our wing backs, we've got so many wing backs.
I know we've got an abundance of wing backs, but then I would also say that there's been, we've had the golden age, and we still won nothing.
I think England are overrated.
If we were to, in this World Cup, if we were hypothetically to not even get to the final or not the semi-final, if we went out at the quarter-final, I think he'll go, because I think the expectation has been so high. People will always talk about, oh, well, look at the teams they beat. You still got to beat what's in front of you.
The last thing I'll personally say on it is that the two options that they would want to replace him probably are Eddie Howe and Graham Potter. Potter's not leaving Chelsea, and Eddie Howe's not leaving Newcastle right now.
I'd love Tuchel at England.
So, I think they'll go for an English manager.
Imagine Tuchel at England, that'd be mad.
Right, we've kicked back off, by the way.
Come on, Loftus-Cheek coming forward.
Who can break the deadlock here.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting half because he's playing the whole half now. I guess as a 4-3-3 or so.
Jorginho.
So I'm going to see
how Jorginho is teasing me off,
how Chelsea try and dominate the midfield in this second half. And I want to see if Ten Hag's maybe change something tactically.
Looks good, Loftus-Cheek is looking good.
Maybe.
He's one that always comes in and out, isn't he?
In and out, but I don't know, man.
Does a job.
It's just the injuries for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the injuries, man. It's the injuries.
Right.
And also, again, he hasn't had a nice run, and also he's been in and out of the England squad. That also has that hurts your confidence.
Yeah, of course it does.
When you're in and out of that squad, man.
Good, but he's a good player when he's called upon. We ran a poll, by the way, Chelsea's league finish. So 53% came back with between 3rd and 4th, 35% between 5th and 6th, and only 10% backed Chelsea to finish 1st or 2nd.
So what was the dominant answer?
The dominant answer was 3rd or 4th.
Oh, okay.
3rd or 4th, yeah.
3rd or 4th. I think we should run the same one for United producers.
Yeah. I think Chelsea this season.
Of who will finish higher? Let's run that poll. Chelsea or Manchester United?
I think it's a write-off season for Chelsea completely.
Write-off in terms of what? Winning trophies or getting top 4?
Write-off in terms of winning the league. Done.
Winning the league, yes.
It's done.
Top 4?
Top 4, I think there's still a chance. I will say there's still a chance to get top 4. But write-off because as a Chelsea fan, I think many fans will agree with me. Every season we want to...
Oh, go on, Anthony. Kepa's going to come out for that.
Oh, nice Kepa. Oh, Kepa, lovely. The feet.
Oh.
Look at his feet,
Press.
Oh, look at
I tell you what, I would not want mine doing that. That's for sure.
Nah, Kepa's confidence has just...
You were calm.
Mendy would have gave it straight to her.
I'm speechless.
Trust me, if that's Spurs, I'm
if that's David De Gea, I'm not too confident.
I don't think Chelsea are going to win it this season. I think there's a chance for us to get top 4. I'd be happy with top 4 and an FA Cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
top 4 and an FA Cup. Nice season, calm.
Arsenal Maniac said Sterling and Uber should be combining to score far more than they have this season. Would you agree with that?
Who, sorry?
Sterling and Aubameyang?
Nah. Sterling and Aubameyang is like mixing pineapple on pizza. It's a weird mix.
I quite like it.
I like it.
I like it.
Pineapple on pizza?
I like
You and a psychopath.
I like it.
Fruit on pizza? Man.
I quite like it.
It's mad. Sorry, yeah.
Wouldn't like go out my way to order it, but I like it.
My point is that it's a weird mix. It's a really, really weird mix. It's a really
Because I think they're similar types of players in that they kind of want to run in behind.
They're only
Neither one they're going to do the link play, hold up the ball, hold it.
They're only similar because you can play Aubameyang on the wing. If you had Diego Costa and Sterling,
because he can run off. He can run off Costa.
And then he had Cesc Fabregas poking balls over the head.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like Sterling. I think Sterling was a great pick-up this season for us. But I think we are missing that killer.
Yeah.
Havertz can't be that killer for us. Although Havertz is a great pick-up in my opinion again too. I just think if you put Havertz in the right environment with the right players, if you put Havertz at City,
cleans up.
Lovely.
You know, as a false nine or what?
Not a false nine. I'd say like playing behind a striker with Haaland the killer, but then Havertz either on the wing or right behind Haaland. But yeah.
Super chat from Balder, who said we are first in the WSL, Premier League, Europa League and Women's Champions League. You'll never sing that. Good show, guys. I believe that's an Arsenal fan. Oh, there's a lot of rattled ones in here.
Europa League.
You
won it yet, mate? You won it?
Yeah, but you man are cheats though. You man are cheats, you know.
Why? You lot won 2 Europa
League.
Fergie
time, yeah. You man are cheats,
bro.
You lot won 2 Europa League.
Cheats. You know what?
Wasn't Drogba offside in that 2010 title race?
Let's not talk about that.
He was.
You know what I'll say, right? You know what really hurt me to this day? It haunts me. That John Terry slip.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That hurts me
I remember.
To this day.
I was sitting on my sofa
to this day.
watching that.
And you know when Chelsea, Barcelona, last minute, Iniesta, 93rd minute,
you got robbed.
I went to bed crying. It's a disgrace. Bro, my dad heard me just go, you know that hurts your soul, like no cries there.
The 2008 one, obviously when John Terry stepped out, I thought it was done. Like,
I loved it.
I was just sitting there like it's done. Literally, I think I was like this in my chair. Just no. When they hit the post,
one of the best moments, right?
I was like, all right, we are back in it. And then,
that hurt me.
Do you know what? I think it was like the aesthetic as well. I had like the rain coming down.
The rain.
It was like the tears of Chelsea fans.
The rain.
It was just.
And you know what it was? Because John Terry was. He was striding forward, pull up his arm down, Captain Fantastic, I'm going to win
ready for this, built for this, you know what I mean? Like, he's been dreaming about that moment since he was a kid. You know, and to slip. You know what also really haunted Terry? When he need...
who was this? Alexis Sanchez. It was Alexis
Sanchez.
In
the back at Barca. I think it was the semi-final.
Semi-final at the Camp Nou, second leg.
He got sent off.
And he missed the final.
I
wish Chelsea went on one.
Yeah, but he still came with the whole kit. He was there.
Yeah, full kit.
He put on his tracksuit. He put the full kit on. It's like, that's like me on flipping Christmas Day with the dinner. I'm not contributing to the kitchen. I was coming to eat. In there, come and eat.
Ready. We're running the poll, by the way, guys, to make sure you vote who's going to finish higher, Chelsea or Manchester United. Just want to read some of you guys.
I was going to say quickly, and
yes.
Fred has just come on for Sancho.
Fred has come on.
Obviously,
who's gone off for United?
Sancho.
Jadon Sancho. Harry Kane said Maguire is England's best defender since Bobby Moore. Most goals for England as a defender. Our third highest goal scorer at the moment, behind Kane and Sterling. Give him respect.
Well, listen.
Anything to say, Neeks?
Yeah. There's lies.
Stats for lies.
What do you say? Lies, damn lies and statistics. He's not. There's in England's golden generation, all of those centre backs are better. I'm talking Campbell, Rio, Terry, King. Some of them couldn't even get into the team. Ledley King, that is. All of them were better. So
Ledley King was cold, though.
If Ledley King had two knees,
was cold.
he probably wouldn't have been at Spurs, to
He
be
was
fair.
cold,
But
bro.
if he had two knees, he would have definitely been one of
He would
the
have been
greatest.
so cold.
So good.
How do you man feel about Sol Campbell? And, like,
We don't talk about that.
yeah, they don't.
We don't talk about. This is a PG channel.
Sol
We don't
Campbell,
talk
you
about
know.
that. We
He
don't.
was cold as well. You got to admit, he was cold. He was.
I won't speak on that.
They hate
I
it.
don't like to lie.
They
You
hate
know, I don't like to tell lies.
Oh, sorry. Before you move on, sorry,
Yes.
sorry. You know, I was thinking about it. I was driving the other day and I was thinking about this, right? When Arsenal lost to Barcelona 2-1, they haven't been back to the Champions League final since then, right? You man as well lost, right, against, who was it?
Liverpool
Was it Liverpool?
in 2019.
Do you still think about that? Does that still hurt you to this day, that you haven't been back since?
No, it doesn't hurt me that we haven't been back because we haven't been in a position to go back. And the fact that we got there in the first place with the stale squad we had, don't forget, at that point in the season, or over that course, we'd made no signings. We were still we'd only just gone home.
Just
gone home. We'd had a really tumultuous time in terms of no signings, very, very stale
That must
squad.
have killed you. Like that must have killed you.
It was
man.
like one of those things where it was like, we have no right to be here, but it's been so magical.
Magical.
That it makes you think that you might actually win it
Yeah,
because we have no right to be here.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was all put to bed within 23 seconds. It wasn't a penalty. I still stand by that to this day. It wasn't a
But you
penalty.
need those pains, though. You need those pains
Yeah, it
in
was
Champions
definitely
League.
a learning curve.
It gives you that experience.
It was. I think what was unfair, more from a club point, I think because it had gone so stale, not necessarily because of Pochettino. I think because of what had gone on with us being away for so long, no transfers. It was unfair that 3 months after getting us and doing the absolute impossible, he was sacked. And I think that what we'll see is
Too cool.
yeah. I think it's always more of an overachievement with Tottenham because you just don't have the same budget as Chelsea.
Yeah,
you know, you're working with very different confines, and Pochettino has
Ref.
always been very understanding. You know,
Yes.
the two seasons away from home, the two transfer windows with nothing. And the staleness. He was working on a very minimal budget and with minimal support. So to get sacked 3 months after, it was completely unfair.
It's heartbreaking. I get that.
I mean, Spurs fans
If
aren't
I was
over
a
it.
Spurs fan, I'd be heartbroken
We're
by
not
that.
over it, especially when you go and get Mourinho, who it's like, why? Like,
Why Mourinho?
why
Yeah,
do
why?
that?
Yeah.
And then sack him before the final.
Then sack
The
him
week.
before, before the week of the final.
And then you lose that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think we would have won it. To be
I
honest.
get why
But I
people
think
call you
would have-
bottlers. I get it.
But you
now,
give
I get
yourself
it,
the
I
best.
get it.
You give yourself the best option.
chance.
However, with Pochettino, we'd still got so many semi-finals and finals as well, and
But
still
do
bottled
people?
it. That's
Come
in our
on.
DNA.
But do people remember finals or the trophies that have been won?
Well, I think when you don't win things, you always remember the finals and that you lost and the games that you lost.
But does history remember you going finals, or does it remember the team holding the actual trophy?
I think it depends on the team. I think I think
We're gonna go post. We're gonna go post.
I think you'll remember, but I think it depends. As a
Yeah.
fan, you'll
Yeah.
remember the finals you didn't win.
Finals.
We just spoke about the John Terry one.
You know what? Half right, because I only remember, for me, the final of the Champions League. All the other finals are just blurs to me.
I don't remember every single semi-final we've lost or final we've lost.
It's a lot of
Because there's a lot,
That's
you
a
know,
lot,
but
there's a
you
lot.
do well to get there, and it's about not having that character to get yourself over the line. But that is something that I am certainly believing is inherently in our DNA, because if
So when
Conte
you
can't do it,
went,
no one can. I think we'll see it come full circle, though.
Come on, Chelsea.
I think Pochettino will end up back with us if Conte
Poch,
signs
yeah,
a
Poch,
contract
yeah.
in the summer. And that's all right, because you know
So
what,
you'd
people
be
will
happy if Poch back at Spurs?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've always been that. You know, I'm very happy to keep
going
Conte,
on?
but again, I've always said if Conte gets the backing, he'll see what he
Come on,
can
Sterling.
do.
Come on, Sterling. So,
Oh,
is
there's
that
a
foul?
foul.
It's a foul.
Gave a
But
foul.
where is Varane? He's still on the floor.
Varane's on the floor.
I want to
still,
talk about Bruno with you in a
I hope
second.
he's not injured because.
Yeah,
don't
he's
think
injured. I think he's done.
Let's see the
You
replay.
know what? He's crying because of the World Cup. The World Cup.
Yeah, that's why
World
they're
Cup.
all
They're-
all
yeah.
emotional.
I hope it's just. I hope he just got hit in the face or something.
He's bare crying.
No, I hope he must be just like the. Oh no.
Let's see
Nah,
what's going on.
So Aubameyang. Oh no, don't no.
He's bare crying. Look, yeah, done. Ankle done. He's done.
No.
You have to
that's
see how
so
bad
sad.
that is.
No.
Not looking good.
That's so sad,
for
man.
Varane there.
That is so sad.
We don't need that at all.
Yeah, he's
I'm hoping.
he's
No,
done.
I don't. Let me just see it because
He's done.
I think. Listen, some of those footballers do stuff where obviously Aubameyang got past him. So to save yourself to shame, he only got past him because I was injured.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's one of them ones.
One of them ones where it's not too bad. Just
Yeah,
as
look,
well-
But he's
look,
had
look,
so
they're
many
chatting to
injuries issues. That's my problem. He's had so many injury issues. and we're so solid with him and Martinez. We're going to throw Lindelof in there now.
No. But Varane at Madrid was pretty solid, you know.
Yeah, but at the latter end, he had some injury issues.
That's why they sold him, innit?
Yeah, that's why I sold him. And Lindelof ain't Varane.
CEX.
That evil
Them
laugh.
50p games there.
Evil laugh.
Yeah, look, bro, I think he's done for World Cup. That's like 2 months out, 3 months out.
He's proper going for it.
Because look, his foot goes into the ground when he stretches.
Yeah.
Right there, it jars.
Oh.
It jars.
I really get sad when I see players before tournament get injured like that.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
So sad.
Let's just hope.
In your career as well.
Exactly.
And
Let's just hope it's not. It might
You're
be.
Man United, I'm Chelsea, but like it makes the game real and it humanizes these players that we put on a pedestal, man. It's so sad, man.
Okay, he's up.
He's up.
Wait.
Let's just hope it.
No, but he's crying back because he knows what it is.
He's walking on it though.
Yeah, but
He knows what it is. He knows what it is. Like he's distraught.
Oh, that's sad, man.
That's so sad.
Oh, that's sad. That's making me emotional.
Yeah,
I mean, at least he's won the World Cup, so at least he's got that.
Like, to be fair, you don't need to go back. Like,
Whatever's
why bother?
happened.
No, you need to go back.
Yeah, we're your country.
For people like you who say, oh, he just won it as a fluke.
No.
Oh,
Well, if it was at Arsenal, I might say that.
This is sad. Like,
This is really sad. Look,
This is like an EastEnders.
he's bare
This is
crying.
sad.
You know what? This one reminds me of when Ronaldinho got injured and he came off crying.
Yeah.
At Barcelona.
Oh,
So
it's
sad.
like you just want to kind of give him a hug. Like, it's
man,
sad.
it's so sad.
We've got super chat from Sophie Rose, who of course was meant to join us today.
Look, he's peased off. He's peased off.
Oh, this is sad.
Who's
He could
our
do
next
like
fixtures?
Kleenex or something. Like
Kleenex.
sponsor.
Who's our next fixtures?
Clean it.
So after this, we've got
That is sad though.
Sheriff. I mean, at least he's walking. That's a good thing. But we've got Sheriff.
Well, it
West
doesn't look
Ham.
like you're going to see him for a while, does it?
Yeah.
We've got Sheriff, West Ham, Sociedad, Villa again.
Just
in
look at
the
your January
EFL Cup.
fixtures.
And no, but what I'm trying to see is,
Oh.
I'm trying to see can we
Guy in
get
the background.
through?
You see the guy in the background?
Yeah, I'm going to get
Yeah.
you peased off.
And Fulham. So I'm saying, can we get through the next fixtures without him? Is what I'm looking at, rather than when he's coming back.
I think it's one of those things where you finally got the problem with you guys is that you finally had a partnership that was looking strong and stable. So what do you do at this point? Is it Maguire or Lindelof?
Well, Maguire's injured. So
For how long though?
I don't know, but Lindelof will go
Wait,
in.
Maguire's injured.
At the moment, yeah, he's injured.
For how
Is
long
he-
is
I
he
don't know.
injured?
I don't know.
Is he gonna make a World Cup?
I believe the injury should be the date they gave it. He should be fit before the World Cup.
Also, this Maguire hate is really real.
I don't hate Maguire, but he's
Someone's making
he's not
money
good
on this
enough.
Maguire hate, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But if Man United want to be challenging,
Yeah.
Maguire's not good enough.
So hold on a minute. Let's pause this whole thing right now, because I'm hearing everyone say, "Change Maguire." Who would you buy in place of Maguire then? Who?
What do you mean? We bought Lisandro Martinez. we bought Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah, but okay, if Varane is injury
Yeah,
prone
well-
or you know how we were talking like it was at Madrid, what do we do in that
Well,
situation?
I'll give you
with
an example.
United?
So
boring,
before we
man.
bought
It's
Martinez,
boring.
his first choice was Jurien Timber, the Ajax
Yeah.
centre back,
No,
who also Netherlands.
no.
So I believe that if the budget allows and it's a position he thinks that's
Gonna be 100
priority,
mil again.
they're gonna want money.
Yeah.
They're gonna want
You
money.
man really spent 100 million on
You're like
Anthony.
100
100 million euros. Are we in England
Are they-
or in Europe? Are we in England or
They
in Europe?
suffered the blow.
Listen, but yeah, so,
Mamma
so I
mia.
think a centre back is what he wants.
Oh my days.
Maguire's gone. Maguire's gonna go. I can't see him staying after this season.
Okay.
Because he's not first choice. And if he wants to have an England career, he's gonna have to
Oh
be
no,
starting.
here we go now.
just need to pause
Counter
this for
attack Man
one sec.
United. Who's this? Fred. Fred's got patience,
Can
you know.
they do anything?
Oh.
I'm just going to read this super chat from Sophie. Obviously, our Sophie Rose, who couldn't join us, she hasn't been feeling too well. She said, "Great stream, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there today. I'm nearly better."
Sophie.
What do you think of the game so far? My Chelsea have been all over the place, and the game has been poor, in my opinion.
Shout out Sophie, you know.
Shout out
yeah,
to
I'm-
Sophie.
I
Wish you
don't-
better.
Should we FaceTime Sophie right now?
Yeah, let's
I've got a number,
FaceTime
you know.
her.
I'll FaceTime right now.
It's not been a
Should we
great.
FaceTime her?
It's not been a great quality game.
She's not happy.
She's not happy. Of course
not happy with the game?
I'm not happy either. I'm not happy. I'm not happy either.
It's not been a great quality game, especially in the final thirds.
It's been boring, bro.
Yeah, but
It's been.
I'm not mad at. I'm not looking for this end-to-end 4-4 thriller. That's what the neutrals. Obviously, Sophie wants it as well. But that's what the neutrals want. I don't want that. I'm trying to sneak out here for 1-0. That's what I'm not lying. I want a set piece.
It is
Header. That's it.
It is Stamford Bridge as well. Like, it is Stamford Bridge.
The
pitch is-
Arsenal fans in the chat are all just
Stamford
saying Saliba starts in for France in the World Cup.
potentially.
Let the man cry for a minute before
I know.
Nah, do you know what though?
Potentially.
But
France.
You have to
I've seen
admit,
the
Saliba this season,
Yeah, he's been
bad
top.
boy.
Top.
No, he has. But I've looked at.
Listen, Arsenal this season, I'm scared. I'm scared. Arsenal are looking good, bro.
Don't be scared.
But as I said, we said together, World Cup, post-World Cup, it's a new season.
Because imagine
new season.
Saliba's like, listen, because remember there was talks about whether Saliba might leave in the summer because Saliba, whether he's going to be guaranteed.
Leaving,
I'm
talking
about the summer gone.
Oh, okay, just
talks about.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's been given the first choice position. He's like, I'm going to have the opportunity to go to the World Cup. Now, it's not just Saliba, but it could be anyone. A lot of these players might be playing for a World Cup place.
Yeah.
Once the World Cup's done, they're like, I'm good. For the next 4 years, I'm easy.
Listen, if I'm part of a team that's first in the Premier League,
I get it.
I'm staying.
I get it, but the motivation changes. Now you have, because someone like Ronaldo, for example, Ronaldo's playing for that World Cup. He wants to be fit for that World Cup. Once the World Cup's done,
bro, respect Arsenal, bro.
No.
Saliba isn't staying at Arsenal because he wants to play in the World Cup, bro.
If Arteta didn't give him first choice football, he would have gone.
But he is though now. So we can't even speculate. He is.
No, I don't. Yeah, so
the issue is that, right? You said, right? Some players are only playing for the World Cup, right? You said that.
Gabriel Jesus isn't guaranteed Brazil plays because the Charles actually ahead of him.
That's true. But if Saliba went World Cup and started for France, he'd come back and he'd stay at Arsenal. If Arsenal,
he'll stay. I'm talking about the level of performance. Players, a lot of players, and I think it's across the world.
I think he'd still come back and do bits.
Maybe.
Because before he was in France.
But you lot told me the World Cup's a game changer.
Listen,
I'm just giving another angle.
It's a game changer because we've never had a World Cup in the middle.
So I'm
talking about momentum. Like Arsenal's momentum.
100%.
Arsenal right now, the momentum is with them right now.
But you're telling me that he's going to come back the same. So maybe his momentum drops because of that break.
I don't think it will though. There's something about Saliba, bro. He is.
No, he's quality. Don't get twisted.
Quality.
Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he's going to become a bad player because of the World Cup.
If you put Saliba in a rubbish team, he'll stand out and he'll still do bits.
Listen, Saliba's a quality player.
He's quality.
Like he's got the potential to be world class. He's not world class.
If you said Xhaka, then maybe okay.
No, but Xhaka's not playing for World Cup.
Exactly. There you go then.
Because he's I'm sure they qualified, but he's guaranteed to play anyway.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those players who are on the fringes. The players who are on the fringes who might be going that extra mile to impress. And I'm not saying it's just Saliba. It could be anyone. It literally could be anyone. But you told me the World Cup's a game changer, so I guess we have to see. But what I would say about France and like Varane, especially over the Nations League that just went, you can see a difference in France's performance when Varane is playing and when he's not. Big difference from the end of last season. In terms of they're better with him. And even when he's
because that's their skeleton, bro. Like Varane is the skeleton of France in the back.
Yeah,
like, he's the
mainstay. They can change other things around,
but he's the main one. He's like a landmark in that team. Like he ain't going nowhere.
And now you're going to have any good team is having that backbone and having that spine of your team that you don't change.
And as I said, it's early. We don't know where it is. He could be out for maybe 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks. It could be back.
I think the way that he the way that he reacted.
But maybe it feels worse than actually. I have no idea.
Oh no, someone else down for Man United. I think it's Fred's.
I think it was Rashford. I think it was Rashford.
Rashford's down.
I think it was.
Does Rashford go World Cup for England?
I think he will end up going World Cup because Southgate has his favourites.
But remember, him and Sancho were dropped from the last 2 squads.
I know, but I still think that's why someone like Ivan Toney, James Maddison, they should be.
Tony will go.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I think James Maddison will go?
Not necessarily, no.
But why? James Maddison has been informed. If James Maddison was at Arsenal, was at United, would he go?
Yeah.
But that's not right.
No.
Hello, Tammy Abraham.
Tammy will go. I think Kane, Tammy, and Tony will go. Remember, it's a 26-man squad. It's a 26-man.
No, provisional.
I think they've increased.
Have they?
I need to check a fact.
I think they've increased.
Because I saw provisional 25.
I saw Netherlands release a provisional 35-man squad.
Okay,
but I think the final squad is 26. I think.
Okay.
The reason why I say Tony will go, it's weird. He called up Tony and didn't play him a minute. So you kind of think, why did you call him up? But it's like, well, you must have a plan for him.
But what about Jared Bowen?
No, he won't.
Sterling as well.
Who?
Sterling.
Oh, Sterling will go. 100%. Yeah. No, that's not even a question.
But if there's some players that haven't...
Sancho won't go. I don't think Sancho will go. Chilwell and Shaw will both go.
Shaw as well?
Yeah. Shaw's been playing well. So post the Arsenal game, he didn't play the Arsenal game, but post that game, I can't remember the game that he came back in. he's been playing well. Remember the last game of the Nations League, he scored in it against Germany.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Or what about Kyle Walker and
Well, Kyle Walker's got an injury, so we don't know if he's going to be
But
ready.
even if he
But
hasn't
I
played,
think
does he go?
Yeah, he'll go.
Because of?
Because of what he's done so
trust.
far.
Okay, so
I don't like
trust,
the,
trust,
yeah, I don't
yeah,
like the
trust.
word, because the favourite thing is like a personal. I like you, me and you, I don't know, we go to dinner.
Okay, sorry, we'll rephrase
Come
it.
on! Ooh,
We'll rephrase it.
nice
Instead of favourites, we'll call it previously trusted.
Previously
But
trusted,
so other players who still are having a good season
Yeah.
might not get a look in. Someone like Tomori, for example.
He won't go. He won't go.
He won't go, but
He won't go. He won't go.
should he be in the conversation?
Well, he was
to
in the
go?
last
He won't
squad.
go. Who, sorry?
Tomori was in the last England squad.
Yeah, but he won't go. Bro,
Yeah, he
World
might
Cup,
not.
safe options,
Yeah, I heard
Southgate.
that.
needs to win,
Cody will go.
and experience. Who?
Cody will go.
But
Cody
then
will
if
go,
Connor
but
Cody's going, why is James Maddison not in the conversation?
Is he Southgate's? He's not Southgate's.
I don't know.
You see what I mean? It's messed up. The logic is messed up, bro.
I
The logic is
understand
messed
it
up.
to a point. You pick players that have done well and trust you before, but surely then you're
No,
meant to be picking.
Maddison should go. Maddison should go.
Because we have a Arsenal fan in the room, Martin Smith-Rowe, does he go?
Yeah, Emil Smith-Rowe, no way.
Sorry,
No
Martin Smith.
Martin.
I was thinking of Martin Odegaard. Sorry.
Martin Odegaard.
He's a...
Emil,
Go on.
Emil Smith-Rowe.
No way.
Does he go?
He's been injured all season. And even
Probably
if he
not.
wasn't, he probably wouldn't go.
Probably not. Probably
But, yeah.
just miss out.
Eddie Nketiah, does he go?
No.
I know he's renounced his allegiance to Ghana.
Well, I know Lamptey has.
Oh?
Lamptey?
Lamptey
has.
hasn't.
Lewis
but
Brown says Ben White should be going.
I think Ben White will go because of the doubts around Walker and Reece James probably not going. Because of his versatility being playing right back this season, I think he'll go. Doesn't mean he'll start, but I think he'll go.
Referees were ruining the game, man. Stop them playing all the time.
70 minutes gone.
I just want to.
This game's kind of like just,
It's boring.
kind of just going on,
Bro,
isn't it?
It's boring. It's boring.
Nothing ain't
it's
really
boring.
happening.
It's just, it's been exactly like chess. No one's wanted to really
it's literally
do
chess.
too much. Happy with the point. Happy with the point.
Man, move your pawn
I
out
just
of the
want to
way,
read
man.
some of your chats, guys. Osman Ali said Arteta will omit Saliba from the first 11 if he drops standards. In the words of the great Premsy, best believe that.
I don't know about that, Saliba's that good, especially with his contract hanging.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Saliba chat in here. Pat said Saliba is literally a French Chris Smalling. That's wild. Dan Hudson
But
said
Chris Smalling
Saliba's
is great.
stats are better than any world-class defender, past or present.
What are you doing, Fred?
Past
Sorry,
or
say that
present?
again?
Sorry, I'm sure we... Saliba's stats are better than any world-class defender, past or
Get the
present.
stats, man.
Taj, do you want to chime in there, mate?
No.
Chime in there. I don't think that's right, Ty, no?
Forget the stats. Like,
That surely.
he's
Ty's in the building, by the way.
he's 20 or 21 years old.
Because
He's not world class. He's potentially world class, but you need to be performing like this at the highest level
For consistent
years. He hasn't even played. Well, I say haven't. I don't know if he did for Marseille, but definitely not for Arsenal. Hasn't played Champions League football. He's not a mainstay in the France side yet. I can't. Whether his stats right now match up to world class stats.
Such a boring
Players
talk
are
about
world
it.
class because those stats are there
Over
for
a
5
period of
years,
time, yeah.
10
This is
years.
such a boring game.
Let's talk about it in a
This
few
is
years'
such a
time.
boring game.
David said, this is what happens when modern managers overplay players. Varane is not a player who should play every game, every season, rather than see the player get injured than to lose games. It's so sad to see. Is that really the manager's fault because we're having 3 game weeks if you're in Europe as well?
Such a boring game.
And he hasn't played all the games in Europa League. He is on a specific training regime because of his injury issues. That is not like a muscle injury. He's stretched for it. I think his studs kind of caught in the ground, probably jarred his knee. That's you can't mitigate for that. It just happens, isn't it?
Lewis said, who should start in goal, Pickford or Ramsdale? There's also talk of, obviously not maybe starting, but Dean Henderson, should he be going? Great performance.
Sorry,
for
you know what?
Pickford.
Yeah?
Pickford.
Pick-
for
you
me.
Nah,
still
you know
Pickford for
what?
you?
You know what? I
Pickford
say,
always performs for England. He's been good this
Then you base it on
But he's been good this year for
previous.
Everton as well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
if he was dropping clangers for Everton, even if he was great for England, I would be like he shouldn't. I don't think Maguire should go. I don't think he definitely shouldn't. Maybe he should go because England's centre backs ain't great.
Yeah.
The options, but I don't think he should start because he hasn't played well for a year. Pickford is playing well for England. He was one of the main reasons why they stayed up last year. At the back end of last season, he was in the Liverpool, the Merseyside derby this season. He was brilliant.
listen,
he was brilliant.
let's be honest, yeah. Southgate is
Got an
going to
assist
play it
this season
safe
as well.
if he's going to pick Pickford. If I had it my way and I was going to change things up, I would love to have Ramsdale start. And
Pickford's better.
I would be ballsy and I would just back Ramsdale and play him in every game.
And I will go with Nick Pope as the first.
Because you know what it is? I feel like although we've been to recent major tournaments with Southgate in the past, World Cup and Euros, it feels like we got new players like Ramsdale that have just come out the scene randomly. I just feel like there isn't pain for Ramsdale with England yet. And I think with Pickford, there's a bit of pain.
Yeah, but there's also a bit of success there, like winning the penalty shootouts.
Yeah, experience.
Experience as well too. But I think there's also that element of nothing to lose. I'm fresh on the scene as well.
Someone's gone down off the bar. Chalobah hits the bar.
Chalobah, man.
I see your
Chelsea
point.
better. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what
I
I'm
do
trying to
see
say?
your point, but then, and this isn't actually a dig at all. It's just following on from what Neeks said.
Yes, yeah.
You know, mentioning that, you know, never been to a major competition for someone like Saliba potentially, or what were you saying, European football, something like that. So for Ramsdale to come into a major tournament, never really featuring much in an England setup, if at all yet, and then being put on that main stage, the pressure would be. I'm not saying you couldn't handle the pressure, and this is not me. I would say the same if Ramsdale played for Spurs. I just don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would do that yet.
Sorry, I see your point of view as well. I just think
because imagine the pressure, right? If you make that change, you drop Pickford and you put Ramsdale in, it could work out. Yeah, sure.
It's the media though, and I think that the media will be saying, why did you start someone who's never played? Like, and then
also the ramifications that has for Arsenal.
You know?
It's like when Capello played Rob Green.
Yes.
In the 2010 World Cup. And he made a mistake in the first game and then he brought back David James. Now for me, there wasn't that much between the two of them anyway at that point. And David James had that experience. Now, the only truth, David James had some clangers as well.
Yeah.
I remember in the Euro 2004, fouling Zidane in the last minute, whatever. But, on Henry, sorry, it was. But the experience of David James, because they were that close, I think you edge with that as opposed to throwing a keeper in who doesn't have that same experience or maybe even peak quality. And then you saw the big error, massive error. So, and Ramsdale is prone to an error. It's not like he's been perfect. Ramsdale's prone to an error. So it's not like you throw him in because you know he's completely solid.
But Pickford is also prone to
error
too.
So exactly. So they're both prone for error. So you go with the one who's got that experience.
Like the thing is, I love Pickford because he's entertaining to watch. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
But you don't want too much of that.
But for the national team, I think you do. For Everton, I think it's a bit too much sometimes. In the Merseyside derby, it works. When you're playing Burnley, you need to be calm.
You see, like Czech, right?
We're not passing in the second half.
Czech for Chelsea was such a calming presence.
Yeah.
Defenders even said that when Czech is in goal, like you know it's going to be okay. Like he was so calm. Aside from talent. With Pickford, it's like when you watch the brother, he makes amazing saves.
Yeah.
But it's like when the ball's going towards Pickford,
you don't know what's going to happen.
There's an element of like
he's going to charge out and chop a man down.
Chop a man down.
So far, we can't really call it, but we're still going with Pickford. Guys, let us know what you think. Who you think should start. Saya also made a good point. There's also Nick Pope in that conversation.
Nick Pope.
I said earlier, Dean Henderson is also in a conversation as well.
Nick Pope ahead of Dean Henderson.
Pope, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think he's been. I've rated him so highly for when he was at Burnley.
Yeah.
And I think he's been very good for. Dean Henderson, I'm not. Oh, what's that? It's terrible. Dean Henderson's got qualities, but there's a lot of hype around Dean Henderson. He's English, he played for Man United, but obviously David De Gea was going through such a bad time, so there was all these calls, Dean Henderson to start, because it would benefit England to have another option. But he's a good keeper, he was very well today against Liverpool. But for me, I think Nick Pope's a bit more solid. He's a bit more solid. And I think
so. Like in this game right now, Chelsea Man United, he's
on side. The left back's playing him on. Yeah, he's on side.
Bro, what would you make any subs with your team?
So obviously Fred's come on for Sancho. Varane's come on for Lindelof's come on for Varane. So we've only got one more position. One more section to actually make a change because you can do 5 sides, but in three different points of the game. The options on the bench, I think we've got Elanga, Garnacho. It's not a flush bench. Let me just check. So we got Elanga, McTominay, Zidane Iqbal youngster, Pellistri youngster, Garnacho youngster, Malacia,
Malacia.
left back. It's not. The only thing you might do is Elanga at some point. If you're winning, you might bring in a McTominay. But right now, that was terrible.
Terrible shot.
I don't see the use of any of those subs right now, to be honest. The game is kind of, it's not like you can say, all right, we're going to bring, like Chelsea did. They brought on Kovacic to get more control.
Yeah,
We ain't got
which they
that
have
kind of-
done.
yeah.
Subs
And
now,
they're
Broya's
making
coming on.
We ain't got
two
that player
changes
on the
right
bench.
now.
I thought that was William for a second.
Yeah, I did as well.
That must
Also,
be-
sorry, again,
Chukwuemeka,
this,
Yeah.
this guy, Chukwuemeka, I don't know what to make of him. He's
Have you
youngster.
seen enough of him?
I haven't seen much of him. Apparently, he was Villa's best young player.
Yeah.
Was
that just Chelsea doing what Chelsea
Best
did? Just
young
bring
player?
up another young player,
yes, no, it is.
maybe loan them
No,
out
it
for
is.
Vitesse.
No, it is.
Jacob
No, it
Ramsey was doing
Yeah.
his bits last year for Aston Villa. Jacob Ramsey
Yeah.
over at
Ramsey.
Villa.
But I just, again, I think, I said it before, we need to give Broya like a long run of games. Long run. But again, as you were saying, I think Chukwuemeka is one of those like players that I don't know if he will ever break into the Chelsea first team.
Might just go-
because of Chelsea's history.
Yeah.
Not because he's not a good player.
Let me ask you about Conor Gallagher, because obviously he had a fantastic season last year at Palace. I would have loved to have Conor Gallagher
He's
at Tottenham.
amazing.
I really
You
would.
lot are desperate for some creativity.
Listen, my guy can give you
Should
that
have got
creativity.
Ericsson. He would have gone back to you lot, but you were not willing to
I've
pay
said
the
this.
money.
I say this every conversation I have, but you know, for whatever reason that didn't happen. He didn't want him. Doesn't really fit into Conte's style, but yeah, Conor Gallagher for me, great young, talented player. Him coming back to Chelsea, do you think that's maybe a hindrance to him because he's not going to always get the consistent game time he needs? Should he have maybe pushed for a move or to stay at Palace?
You know what? I'm going to break it down real quick for you.
Go on.
I honestly feel like Chelsea are going.
What the hell was
Chelsea
that?
are going through such a transitional period. We got players that have been there before Tuchel. We got players that have come when Tuchel has gone. Obviously, I just feel like when I look at our squad, we got a lot of deadwood that needs to go, and we got a lot of deadwood that need to be turned on and set alight and be reassured. I think with Gallagher, if I'm honest with you, I think we're spoiled, and I think we need to get rid of Gallagher. I think he needs to go. Not because he's not an amazing player, but because
He'll waste away.
He wastes away.
Yeah.
If we kept hold of Kevin De Bruyne, he would have wasted away. Salah, I think Salah would have come good, but late, too
Yeah.
late. And Chelsea don't have that patience. And I love Gallagher. I think for me, he's got that energy in midfield. He's got that sort of Lampardy.
He's got the
esque,
he's got the look.
The pass, but like a Beckhamy, Lampardy vibe, like proper number 8 vibe to him. He can score goals, he can pass, he can dribble.
But do you think, obviously, you got a new owner, so we don't know.
Plays too much.
But I'm saying you don't know if he's going to be the same as Abramovich in terms of that, like, if you don't win now, I'm sacking you. Now,
Sorry, I'll stop you there. Do you know why? Because Todd Bowley is the exact same as Abramovich. Not because he's just come in, but because Bob Bowley owns the LA Dodgers.
Yeah.
And usually in baseball, you're meant to have they have 2 or 3 max contracts. Yeah. 2 or 3 stars per team. He's brought in 6
Yeah.
So he's
stars.
gone over the cap kind of thing. I suppose,
He's Bowley's mad.
Can I just tell you something mad about that? I went to the Dodgers game in the summer when I was in America.
Baseball's rubbish, man.
How much do you reckon I paid for nachos?
Probably
Too much. $20.
Nah. I'd say you already given it away.
Well,
innit?
no, I didn't give you the exact.
I'd say probably I'd say cheap because baseball, it's not one of the main sports.
No. Baseball's the biggest sport
Baseball's the
in
biggest
America.
sport in America.
Yeah, globally, other people don't really
Yeah.
watch baseball, but in
Baseball.
America,
Biggest sport.
I'm sure.
In America?
I'm sure baseball's
It
the
is.
biggest.
I'm pretty sure I've looked at that
It's
before.
like, put it like this: it's bigger than.
I would have thought American football was the
It might
biggest.
No,
not-
it's like I think it's like third NFL.
No.
NFL,
NFL's
really?
bigger than NBA. 100%.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
What we say?
no third, like as in out of like the top 5.
I would have thought it
I'm
was
pretty sure it's
American
baseball.
football.
I
Are you
think it
sure?
was,
I'm not
yeah,
100%
it's-
sure.
Because
NFL wasn't first.
Super Bowl though, you know what I mean?
NFL wasn't first.
I'm not
I
100
remember looking at it when I was in America.
Really?
How much do you think I paid?
Like £3.50.
What? You think I'm
yeah.
$25?
Baseball.
Baseball is
$25 for
big things.
for Nacho.
Really?
And I swear, I'm funding your transfers. I funded your transfers.
LA Dodgers.
I was honestly
But
done
what I
out
was
there.
going to say
Yeah,
in
sorry,
terms
yeah,
of,
we
in
were
terms
saying,
of the
yeah.
bowling,
Yeah.
so cool, I get that. So that's an element.
Yes.
But it's the fact that he's replaced Tuchel with
Yes.
Potter.
Yes.
So you replaced an experienced manager who's proven he can win with a manager who you really don't know.
Baseball second.
Baseball second.
Behind-
Baseball second. Okay,
I
that's
don't
high
believe
still.
it was NFL first.
It might be NFL, I'm not sure.
And
Who
there was
is
like a
first? I
random
want to know
one.
who's first.
There was like a random one that was like in the top 5. It was either like, I can't remember if it was like motorsport or if it was
Probably
like
golf or something,
hockey.
innit?
I think golf. I think
Well,
it
like
might be golf
NASCAR or
potentially.
something like that.
Yeah, like
NASCAR's
they've
big as well,
got
though.
big
Nah,
things.
NASCAR's
And
big.
that's what they're trying to say.
Sorry, yeah,
NFL
well-
first.
Oh, NFL first.
NFL's
Okay.
first,
That was
I
not-
knew it,
Can I
I
just say
knew
this
it.
was not the one I looked at? Because
Okay.
when I looked at it, it was third.
Because you know what it is?
Because
The
I
point I'm
Super Bowl.
making is baseball's
the Super Bowl-
massive.
Yeah,
So that's the point I'm
baseball's
making.
Yeah,
Baseball's
baseball,
massive.
but the Super Bowl is mad.
It is.
So I would have thought that.
But it's mad because obviously globally,
Globally, yeah.
and
yeah.
NBA globally
Yeah.
is bigger than baseball.
It-
But
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
America's.
Yeah.
But
Top
baseball
one,
is bigger
okay.
than.
And you think
Yeah.
about it, they've
NBA
got, like,
in
hockey,
America.
Hockey's
Hockey.
huge over there.
Yeah, hockey. Hockey's
So
huge.
many different.
But yeah, what,
Hockey's
so
massive,
what I
yeah,
was
you're
saying
right,
is that
hockey's big
so
over
he
there.
got rid of Tuchel, brought an experienced manager who proved that he can win.
Yeah.
To get a inexperienced manager,
Yes.
or unproven manager more than
Yes.
inexperienced,
Yes.
you'd assume that he's going to get time because why would you bring him in?
You'd assume
Yeah.
that, but I'm telling you right now, brother, if Chelsea were like, if Chelsea, it's not gonna happen. But if Chelsea finished like 12th, under Potter, Bowley is kicking them
All right,
out.
all right.
yeah.
Let me give you
Brother.
a situation.
He's gone.
Let me give you a situation.
Yeah.
So Arsenal under Arteta finished 8th,
Yeah.
and 5th.
Yes.
If Potter finished 8th this season, does he get
Yeah.
sacked?
No.
You know
Ooh,
what?
Someone's gone down.
You know what?
Chelsea.
Oh,
Penalty!
he's given a penalty.
Oh, for flips.
I'm going to drink water.
He's given a penalty
Is it a penalty?
to Chelsea.
Is it a penalty?
I would really have liked
Mamma
this to
mia!
be-
Handball!
No.
Aspilicueta loves to fight, innit?
Oh, for flips.
Oh, it's a penalty. It's
Wow,
a
let's
penalty.
have a look at this.
Handball. Where's it? Oh,
Broja
he held him down.
McTominay.
He held Broja down. That's why you bring on Broja.
Neeks, anything to say on that?
It's soft, but I get why he's giving it, but it's soft.
Your man's holding him.
It's soft. It's soft.
Also,
I've seen softer than that. This
also
season.
the hate that you guys give to
But he's
McTominay.
not even looking at the ball.
You
But
man
it's
hate
soft.
McTominay,
I mean, he
innit?
won the ball, yeah, but
Those two players,
I don't hate McTominay.
McTominay and Maguire, get so much hate. I don't understand why.
This is so annoying. I really wanted it to stay 0-0. Would have been the best result for me. To
Chelsea
be
don't
fair.
deserve
Not for
this.
like Spurs fans.
It would have been the best result
Yeah.
for me, yeah.
Look,
Just
they're
wanted
kicking
to
off, they're kicking off. Yeah,
just wanted
sorry.
to respond to someone on here when we were just talking about Eriksen and how I said he wouldn't fit into the Conte
Yeah.
system. Cardinal said Conte bought Eriksen from you when he was at Inter. How can you say he doesn't fit in the system? He barely played him at Inter Milan, by the way.
Barely played him,
He
yeah,
barely
yeah,
played
yeah,
him. He
yeah.
didn't want him.
I don't
and he
think-
doesn't fit in. Conte has that very
Specific profile.
specific
Profile.
It's wild
Yeah.
when he goes 3 in midfield, like he did when he did the other day.
It's
he
weird.
always goes with the 2 in midfield.
We actually got rid of
he doesn't.
Conte partially because Conte was asking for like 37-year-olds.
Yeah.
And Chelsea,
Yeah.
like Marina and Cech and Abramovich were like, no, we're not going to sign these old Deadwood players.
big- yeah, big
but
contract.
under Conte, they will die for Conte.
Yeah,
You
and
know
he
what I
wants
mean?
players that
Yeah.
someone like that's why
Yeah.
I brought in Perisic, someone that he's
Perisic,
worked
yeah.
with before.
Before, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what I mean when he doesn't fit in. He,
Doesn't
he,
fit
took,
in.
he bought him to Inter and he never played him.
I don't think he
didn't fit in with his
fancies
style.
Ericsson. I think
No.
it's a personal preference thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
think he
personal
fancies-
preference. But I would have liked him to have definitely
Yeah.
as a sub you could utilise.
100%. And also, Ericsson got you to the final, innit, as well.
Oh, well, yeah, he was with us for a long time.
There you go.
Christian Eriksen.
There you go.
Long time.
So I get why. I think you're grieving like me with like.
I
when-
grieve a lot of things.
You see, like
I
like
grieve a lot of
Tuchel.
things for Tottenham. A lot.
You see how I'm still grieving of Tuchel?
Yeah.
I think you're still grieving of Poch and that system,
yeah.
that old time you're still grieving.
Are you scoring this penalty, Jorginho? Taken?
No, I don't think we're going to
Jorginho don't miss.
I'm going to say no. I'm
Jorginho
gonna
don't
say
miss.
no.
Is this a save or is this a miss?
Jorginho,
No, he scores. He
Jorginho.
scores.
Oh, place your bets, gone.
I'm
Save or
saying
miss?
miss.
Score.
Okay.
Score, yeah? I'm saying
Jorginho-
Whoever loses got to eat a chili.
No, wait. No,
Too
wait.
late,
I don't
too
mind
late.
losing.
Locked in.
Disagree.
Locked
Legally
in, locked
disagree.
in, locked in, locked in.
Yes! Come on! Come on! Jorginho! Give him,
Chelsea don't even
give him
deserve
the
it.
contract! Give him the
I have
contract!
to give him
Give
the
him the
contract.
contract.
Give him the... Hey!
For a penalty.
Yes, I don't care. 1-0 over Man United, you cheats. Biggest cheats of your history.
Do you know what? That's the most energy I've seen in the last 90 minutes
Biggest
from watching this
cheats,
game.
bruv. Biggest
This game.
cheats. Come on, look at his head.
Chelsea.
Look at his head.
David hasn't made a save
Look
in this
at his
game.
head, bruv.
David hasn't had to make a save in this whole game.
Jorginho
Do you know what's
penalty.
funny? Was Bruno in his ear saying, yeah, he's going to go the other way?
Jorginho
No, I
penalty.
think he was just,
Look at the skip.
Because he does that thing. So
He's
it might
jumped
be. So
up
what you got to do with Jorginho?
Like a Solomon Deku.
You know
Look
what?
at the skip.
I don't even blame
like
David
a
Header because
Solomon Deku.
he did what I think keepers
Like
should
a
do.
Solomon Deku.
You should feign to go one way
Yeah.
and go the other because
Jorginho.
Jorginho does that jump.
Yeah.
So once you see him go there, he's
on.
automatically going the other way.
gone, yeah.
Cheats.
So for him to still send David Header the wrong way after that little move, it's a good penalty.
I actually think this was I think this has been a pretty even
He
second
went
half.
blue.
David De Gea hasn't
I think
made
you could
a
He's
easily.
save.
wearing blue like a Solomon Deku.
Can you get a goal in the next 3 minutes plus stoppage time?
Potentially, but the game hasn't looked like a goal was really coming
Come on,
other than in the
oh
first
my
half.
gosh, man, they're coming forward.
Oh, please just make this 1-1.
No.
Save me. Save
Oh
me.
dear.
Chelsea don't deserve this at all.
We don't, but I don't care. We're winning.
Chelsea don't
Nah,
deserve
sorry,
it at
you
all.
have to
Well,
admit
United,
though,
but do
you have to admit
United deserve
Kepa-
to?
Who?
Do United deserve to win this?
But we're not winning. So
No,
that-
but I'm saying if let's say
It was this. If
I'm-
any team, we've created a better chances. So if anything, but I don't think it's been clear.
neither of
especially
you had a shot on
That
target.
penalty was
in the
like,
second
I
half.
can't lie.
The second half. This is what I'm saying.
Bro.
So and Chelsea barely had anything in the first half.
Yeah.
So
Neeks.
Chelsea, if anyone, Chelsea don't deserve anything.
Neeks,
But-
Neeks, I can't lie, yeah. I'll give this to you right now. That penalty was light.
It's
soft.
light. It's light.
It's
But
soft.
I get
It's
it.
soft. It's
The
soft.
hands are there. You
The
risk
hands are
it.
there,
You
but
risk
it's soft though. I can't lie, it's soft.
I've seen
It's-
softer.
It's very, very
I've
soft.
seen softer.
Also, another thing I'm going to say, yeah, is that
You also see them not given also.
you have to admit,
I'm saying soft. Because for me, soft doesn't mean it's the wrong decision, but it means that
It's
some
harsh.
will give it, some wouldn't.
Yeah.
it's really harsh. Sorry, Kepa's been amazing. Come on. That's
Kepa's
my man of the match. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Kepa's my man of the match.
And I wouldn't go as far as saying like it's not like we've been raining shots on.
Yeah,
But
it weren't
Kepa
like
is
the other night,
yeah, but
like,
Kepa is one of the main reasons why we haven't scored.
Look, Liquetta, yeah. Come on, Captain America, let's go.
You gonna
Let's
make
go,
it
Captain
two?
America. Oh, look at the dribbling.
Well, you can kick it out if you want.
Oh no, Aspilicueta is
I love
down.
it. I love the time wasting. I love it.
I love Aspilicueta. man.
Calando said that's not soft. The guy dragged down the
He
man.
didn't drag him down.
He-
But he held him for
I do
too
think,
long.
I think sometimes it's given and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not.
Because he
Yeah,
held
yeah,
him,
yeah.
but he held him
You're
for
right,
too
I think
long.
you're
it's
right,
a
you're
penalty
right.
if you're,
Yeah.
but I don't think that everything is always given.
It's not.
That
It's
is
not.
a
It's not
penalty,
a
and
wrong.
things that
yeah.
aren't
Yeah.
a penalty are sometimes
You're-
given.
I think,
That's
like,
too soft.
the reason why I said soft is because, again, sometimes it's given, sometimes it's not given.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And this time you
definitely-
got it. But you
Yeah.
run that risk as a defender
Yeah.
or whatever.
You-
You run that
you
risk
run that
once
risk,
you're
yeah.
holding someone in the box.
Yeah.
You
But
run
it's
the
like,
risk.
it's like you have to be smart. Hold, but you need to know when to let go.
Yeah.
Let go.
And it's like he held him a bit too long.
Bit too much.
And obviously,
Bit too
Broyer's
long,
going to go
yeah.
down, innit? He's
Of
going to go
course.
down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he only just came on.
Who?
McTominay, he only just came
McTominay.
on.
That's
Five
why
minutes.
he gets so much
Super
hate.
So now he's going to get it because
We
of
get
that.
bare
But it's
hate.
like-
And your fans, your fans are relentless. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
but-
know what's wrong with your fans, you know.
Listen, I put some tweets out. I think it was at the
6 minutes.
end of last
minutes.
season, beginning.
Look at these.
I mean, that
cheats.
penalty took about 3
Look at
minutes.
these cheats, bro.
That penalty took about 3
Look
minutes.
at these cheats, man.
But I was like, we are a toxic fan base. We are a toxic fan base.
But
and
do you
I
not
don't
think
like
you
it.
man are toxic because the amount of success that you man have had?
Yeah, so we got a lot of.
So because you're falling a bit now and you're sleeping giant now,
Yeah.
that it hurts bears because you know what? If Chelsea, if Chelsea were not doing the business for a consecutive amount
it
of
would get
seasons,
like that.
we would be so hurt.
But for me, we're toxic for or towards the wrong people at times. So
Yeah,
for me,
okay,
the reason why we are where we are
Yeah.
after 10 years later is a lot to do with our ownership. And we do have obviously a big drive to try and get rid of them.
Your owners are peak.
But,
like, your owners are
but a lot of the time, soon as the results start going, all the focus goes on this individual player or the individual manager. And it's like, we don't look at the bigger picture. We've chased some managers so many times over the how many seasons, and the success ain't come. So clearly, changing the managers ain't the sole reason for, the manager ain't the sole reason for the poor results, and nor is it going to be the sole solution to the success. So it's those that kind
man,
of
that go forward now.
Ronaldo.
Nice.
Book him, man.
Brilliant. Nice one. Neeks, would you not agree though? Something that seems bad doesn't always seem bad, and something that seems good doesn't always seem good. Okay?
Our owners are bad.
So, for example,
there's no other way about that.
Wait. I think your owners thought it was a good thing about going to get
Oh,
Ronaldo.
get up, man.
Okay. When you man got Ronaldo, you must have felt amazing. Okay.
Yeah, as a fan,
But
a legend come back.
before that, who did you man grab that was massive again? You bought someone massive.
Angel Di
Sanchez,
Maria.
Sanchez. Sanchez was the-
Di Maria.
Di
you had
Maria, Sanchez, you
Pogba.
bought
Yeah,
Varane,
Varane,
Pogba. So
I mean,
again,
there's ones we're even forgetting about. To
Yeah,
be
you're
fair.
doing all these things that seem good, but
yeah,
they're not
you
actually
had
good.
Falcao. I mean, you've had a lot.
Spoiled, bro.
Yeah, but it's like, because
But it's the entitlement.
But
It's
it's
the,
because-
no, bro.
Cavani, is Cavani still there?
He's left. You know what it is? It's the entitlement.
Yeah.
It's the, because we're Man United, like, we've won it, Fergie, like, when that Wayne Root, like, that era, like, you man still feel entitled to be in a shout of winning it every season.
Yeah.
But the amount that we spend,
Yeah.
we should be challenging every season.
Yeah, but if you spend the money
but the question
in the
is-
wrong
yeah, but
areas,
that's where the focus needs to be on.
That's what's gonna
Who's
happen.
making those decisions? Come on, Elanga.
oh my God, Yee!
Oh,
Straight across the box.
just
Get
wanna
rid,
read-
get rid,
Go on,
get
Dalo.
rid, get
Go on,
rid.
Dalo.
Oh my gosh, get rid.
That's poor.
Oh, fantastic.
Gotta go across the front.
Fantastic. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Pepper. Just a super chat from Shreth, who said, glad that ref gave the penalty to Chelsea. Scotty McTominay has been fouling like mad, especially against Arsenal. But he never gets booked because, as usual, United had the refs in their
McTominay
pocket.
got 5 bookings in his first, like, 5 or 6
Hey,
games.
yo, there's better Arsenal fans in this chat, you
There's
know.
so
Come
many.
on.
They don't stop.
Now, you know what?
No days off.
This season, I'm scared of Arsenal. I'm actually scared of
McTominay
Arsenal.
got 5 bookings in, like, his first 5
Get
or 6
World
games.
Cup.
Shola said Ten Hag has got it wrong without...
Oh, no! Yeah! Come on! Come on! Come on! Casemiro! Come on!
I'm happy.
Come on!
This is a good result.
Come on!
Good result.
Chelsea! I ain't saying. Come on!
What? Do you know what? Where's his energy been in the last 85 minutes rather than the last 10?
Cheats.
bad.
Kepa who?
The cheats.
Arizaba, get out of there!
Let's have a look.
Arizaba, get out of
Let's
there!
have a look.
cheats.
Watch it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Oh, Kepa.
Come on!
Oh, Kepa, why? Kepa, why?
I love how he tried to drag it out.
He
He's
tried to
like,
drag it out,
"No, that doesn't happen."
Nah, Kepa, why? Kepa! Kepa!
And you've been...
The ref not telling what?
Kepa,
Come on!
No. Kepa, why, man?
Well, it's going to probably end up a draw
Oh,
now.
Kepa.
Can't see.
Elanga knew.
Nah,
It's
bro.
over.
You see, if that was Mendy, I'm joking.
Now,
Hey, take it off.
what you're gonna get is you're gonna get some still images on Twitter soon.
Yeah.
Trying to prove that it didn't cross the line. I bet it. And it's gonna be some two
Kepa.
megapixel frame
But does it have
where
to
it
be,
looks like it has
No. But does it have to be the whole
the
ball?
whole ball
Yeah,
has
the
to
whole
cross
ball.
the whole
Okay.
line.
Yeah, that will probably be
That's
it.
the thing. But listen, the technology is
my
there.
days,
So you have to
Kepa.
trust the technology. Come on.
Kepa, man. Well, Chelsea still unbeaten under Potter, though.
You know,
Do not concede.
Please.
it's a good result. It's a very... It's a good result for Arsenal. It's a good result for Manchester City.
Listen, it's a good result for us. We've
It's a
gone
good
away to
result-
Chelsea.
It's a good result for Tottenham if they win tomorrow.
You know, if
it's a good
Arsenal-
result for...
You know, if Arsenal win this league this year, yeah, they are not going to shut up
They
about
won't
it
because they
for
won't.
10
They
years.
won't beat City. I know that City got done last week by Liverpool,
Yes.
but I still take that out of the equation. I still think Arsenal are not at the level that City is. I think they're playing fantastically.
Yeah.
But I think that over the course of a season,
Yeah.
I still think City will be.
Is it because of the World Cup element and Europa element
You
as
and this
well?
I think
Damn
it's to do
World
with that.
Cup.
I also think it's to do with that City have a better squad. When you have to get into the squad,
Chelsea
you've got to do
cheat.
that.
Bro, y'all dive.
1-1, guys.
Ref pay the refs again.
One.
And you still couldn't get the win.
Bro, your
Mugs.
dives, you know. Bro, your
Yeah, I'm
dives,
saying
you
it.
know.
I'm saying it all.
Bro, your dives, you know.
I'm saying it all.
Do
Pay
we
the
have-
refs.
Bro, you're done.
We don't come to Stamford Bridge and get any decisions.
So after all that,
Your whole
are you
history's
happy?
cheated, bro.
Neeks, are you happy?
I'm
The
happy
whole history's cheated.
because
Look, it's
how
over.
The whole
la-
ball. The whole ball was
over.
over
yeah,
the line.
yeah,
I'm
it's gone.
happy because of how late Chelsea took the lead, and us obviously equalising.
That is some facial.
It's the result that I predicted, but it's
Yeah.
a result I'll take, but I'm not happy. I'm happy when we win,
Yeah.
but I'll take the draw.
Yeah, take the draw.
Woo, because it was barely a loss.
How are you feeling about that, Malcolm?
Well, as you can see from this guy over here, he's celebrating like he's won the Champions League.
Casemiro ate Nigerian jollof. Sorry, jollof.
Wow, man said jollof.
He ate Nigerian.
Man said gel.
I'm Jamaican. Excuse the
gel.
pronunciation.
Is it plantain or plantain?
We know it's plantain. Sorry, go back to your.
Is it mountain or mountain?
Go back to your.
Is it mountain or mountain?
Go back to your analysis.
Is
Your boys can't win.
Is it
Go back to your
is it
analysis.
mountain or
I
mountain?
rudely interrupted
Is
you.
it mountain,
I
mountain?
apologize for rudely interrupting you.
Anyway,
Is it fountain or fountain? Sorry.
So some people are celebrating like they won Champions League, you know. But as for me, it feels like a loss. You know, we should have won that game. We had a couple sitters in that game. I think Aubameyang should have done the business. Again, as I said to you at the start, not convinced with Aubameyang still. I think Aubameyang is simply a placeholder, papering over cracks for now. I'm optimistic for the rest of the season. I'm not convinced still with Potter. But right now in this moment, it's a loss. Even Neeks wasn't very confident to come to Stamford Bridge and to do the business. To go to Stamford Bridge is always difficult. And so for all the Man United fans right now, it's going to feel like a massive win, and rightly so.
Yeah.
If I was at Old Trafford and I drew Man United right now, this course of the season right now, I'd be ecstatic as well. So, you know,
For sure.
fair play.
Fair play. I think it was overall an even game in the end. And I think
It's
a
a very, very
Yeah,
even
I
game.
think it's a fair result.
fair result. We did run a poll earlier. We said who is going to finish higher. Do we have those results?
So I had, personally, my prediction at the start of the season was,
Maybe we didn't run it.
was Chelsea 5th and Man United 6th.
Chelsea 5th,
though.
Man United 6th.
Yeah, I had the start of the season.
You don't respect us,
So I
bro.
had Man City,
You don't respect
Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, in that order. I had Chelsea 5th and Man United 6th. Now, the fact that Liverpool are struggling, space has opened up. Spurs ain't playing well. Getting results, but they ain't playing well. I think it's 4-2. I think it's 4 out of Spurs, Liverpool, Man United,
So
Chelsea.
give me your top 4. No, just name them off the top of your head.
What, as in my prediction right now?
Right now.
Man City, Arsenal. I'll go Spurs, Chelsea. I think Spurs, Chelsea.
Wait. Man United, Arsenal.
No, Man City,
Yeah.
Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea.
Why?
Who's naked? Who is that?
Who's naked, bruv?
Who's it?
Who's naked?
Was that
like
Jorginho? Was that your
I don't know who
king?
that was.
that was Casemiro, you know. You just tell.
But yeah, so that's why I got and Liverpool somewhere, 5th, 6th.
All right, what's your top 4 before we wrap up?
I can't stand to have Arsenal to win it. I can't stand it. So I have a special place for Arsenal, by the way. I love Arsenal fans. I love you, man, but I can't stand you, man, to win. But number 1, I'd say City. City number 1. Number 2, I will go with. Oh dear. Number 2, I'm going to go with Arsenal.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm going to go Spurs.
Okay.
I'm going to go Spurs number 3. Number 4, I'm going to go Chelsea. Number 4.
It's tight, man.
And I think number 5, I'm going to go Liverpool 5th. I'm going to go Liverpool 5th.
That is
Liverpool 5th.
interesting.
And I think 6th or 7th, Man United, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I just think you guys are very elusive at the minute. Like, I think you're very... We'll talk again after World Cup.
Yeah.
But
talk about it
if that's my top 7, top 8 right now.
Yeah.
If it was a continuous season.
Yeah.
But after World Cup, it's going to feel like a brand new season. As I said, it's going to be like a brand new
Absolutely.
season. Plus we got January
Transfer window.
as well.
Exactly.
in
People
that.
might
Well,
make
what's your top 4, sorry?
And we've also got cup games as well, guys. Don't
Cup
forget.
games,
Champions League games, Europa League games.
Congestion as well. It's going to be hella
She's got
congestion.
Spurs winning the league.
No, I don't.
Abbi,
I'm not. No, I don't. My top 4, what as of right now, honestly,
Yeah.
Arsenal fans need to stop coming for me. It's so annoying, man.
Yeah,
like, I'm just telling
all
truths.
over
I'm just
you.
telling truths. My top four, basing off of right now what I've seen so far this season, I would go City, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Third.
I don't really want to put Spurs there because I still just don't think it's.
I think Spurs look good, and I think
look good.
I think you
Oh,
guys.
all right, I'll put Spurs there, but I don't believe that they're there.
But you guys have got depth though.
We don't have
No, they
enough.
don't.
No, we don't.
They got players, but they're not good.
No.
Not quality depth. It's depth, but not
Up
quality.
top, you've got choice up
We
top.
do, but Kulusevski's out, Richarlison's out, and now you see.
And Son's not even on form.
Son's not on form, exactly.
So you really.
I don't know. I really don't know.
After World Cup,
After
we
World
will
Cup,
talk.
I can't call my top
How long
four
is
at
World
the
Cup
minute.
for? Is that a month, innit?
1 month. Right, anyway, guys, it is time to wrap up. Thank you, Neeks. Thank you, Malcolm. Hope you guys at home enjoyed the show. Obviously, stay tuned tomorrow on DR. I'm sure there'll be watch-alongs for the Southampton Arsenal game on AFTV and over here for the 4 o'clock kickoff Spurs Newcastle. So make sure you stay tuned. Have a great weekend. Neeks, big up to you.
Thanks for having me, Abbi, and DR.
I'm glad we've made up after Wednesday. Malcolm, great to have you. Hope you enjoyed your first Premier League DR experience.
Premier League, man. I'll be back for World Cup. Ghana, come on.
Definitely. We're going to have lots of fun in the World Cup. See you later, guys. Have a great weekend.
Later. Love.